leave it with the players thing on the same screen so you guys can't see shit.
I thought we might have requested a landing screen off Les. Or he made you one, I don't know.
I might find
I
one.
don't want to play.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm not ready to say goodbye to Nigel.
We got some weeks left.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Plus,
not
you
enough.
just got to
Yeah.
get out of Barovia and then convince Kieran to let you play Nigel in Waterdeep too.
Oh my god.
If he survives, though, we'd totally let you do that.
There you
No, because I'm meant to be Terry.
go. We'll admit I'm looking forward to Terry.
Thierry
right.
Billy Bonbombiere. Oh
Yeah.
no!
God. Right, is everyone ready to begin?
Yeah, ready?
Willing, sir. Right, so I'm ready to DM. In the last session of Curse of Strahd, the time is currently approximately about 3 in the afternoon, and the date is the 27th of Alturiac as the month comes to a close. You began last session in the Amber Temple Library, deciding on what your next course of action would be. Eventually, you all agreed to try and recover some of the spell components you had spotted within the treasure vault, defeating the Amber Golem within as you did so. You then headed further east into the temple, where you encountered a number of figures seemingly frozen to the spot. As Cow approached, he was taken off guard by that of a cold light walker. However, as you fought the undead creature, the crystal began to hear the calls of freedom from within the Amber Tomb. In a desperate attempt to free the dark god that lies within, she kicked open the set of amber doors and began punching away chunks of the amber. 3 flame skulls floated down through a hole within the ceiling and began defending the vault as Nigel managed to drag the crystal away. However, it was Cal who was shot down in the process, creating a desperate rush to use your scroll of revivify before the time ran out. And in the chaos and panic, the crystal broke free, and Ilkaas was forced to shoot her down with a shard of ice, destroying her in the process. However, you did manage to revive Cal and defeat the Flame Skulls. And in the aftermath, you simply sat there, drained and defeated, and still with one daunting task left ahead of you. Castle Ravenloft itself. And that is where we begin our session. So, let me quickly move you back to the map of the Amber Temple. Let's quickly adjust my volume levels. Okay, that's a bit better. Right, so as you sit outside the open tomb, shattered crystal that lies strewn across the black marble floor, and with your backs against the walls, heavy breathing, and you can see the warm breath exuding continuously from each of your forms and filling the area that you currently occupy. What do each of you decide to do now?
There's not much left to explore, is there?
Well,
There's this room up here, wasn't there?
there are 2 rooms up here and up here currently, and you haven't explored the east wing upstairs currently, but it's completely up to you whether you choose to even pursue those things, because you technically you also haven't explored to the south, behind the stairs or beneath the stairs. But like I said, technically you got what you came here for. You could simply choose to leave now, but that is your decision.
Just conscious of our dwindling resources of spells.
I feel like if there is any kind of treasure left here, there's an equal chance of finding that as there is something to kill us.
Yeah, I think Strahd's got most of the crap anyway.
I would also remind you, if you were to try and rest within, there is a downside to resting within, as last time you saw, you suffered terrible nightmares, points of exhaustion, and also
We're
madness.
still gonna have to rest at least once, though, right? Because we can't rest outdoors.
It's up to you.
Well, currently Farrah is kneeling near the pile of Helen. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what to do.
Scoop her up, put her in a bag.
God, now carrying that bunch of crystal, it's so heavy.
Yeah, the remains are strewn across the floor, but there's no sign of Helen anymore, and you think to yourself, really, that there probably hasn't been signs of Helen in quite a while now.
Yeah.
What about her equipment?
Her equipment, that's a good question. Let me have a quick look what she had. There is one thing that definitely would have survived, but I do not think anything mundane would have survived with her.
Fair enough.
As I imagine it also would have been consumed by crystal in the process.
I assume it'd be like anything magical, wouldn't?
Yes,
That'd be right.
you'd be correct.
Yeah.
So, what remains on from the crystal's body, you would find there would be a spell scroll of remove curse.
No, I wouldn't used it like ages ago.
Okay, that's a third.
Unless we got a second one.
I don't think so. Maybe you did use it. Well, the only thing that would remain then, you would see on the floor before you, would be a ring of spell turning. Very powerful item.
Spell turning.
Doesn't even remember what that does.
I'll read it out to you, just so you know. While wearing this ring, you have advantage on saving throws against any spell that targets only you, not in an AoE. In addition, if you roll a 20 for that save and the spell is 7th or lower, so that's a natural 20,
Remove
the spell has no effect on you and instead targets the caster, using the slot level, spell save DC, attack bonus, and spellcasting ability of the caster.
Does it affect the caster as if you were the one that casted that spell?
It would actually affect the caster as if they targeted the spell, but they
targeted themselves. Basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Huh.
So it would use their spell save DC, not yours.
Okay. I imagine that would be worth picking up.
Certainly.
And the scroll, I think I'm confusing it with the one that Meadhan cast ages ago. So maybe there is one. Was it remove curse?
I believe there is still on Helen's inventory on D&D Beyond. So that would make sense to me. That
Yeah, we never used that many.
No. I think I'm just confusing it with the Stow curse that you tried to do on Neville.
Oh,
so
yeah,
maybe it does exist, yeah.
yeah,
Does that ring
Remove curse?
attunement? I assume it does.
Does require attunement, yes.
Yeah.
So it's up to you who you choose to distribute it to.
Anyone got a slot free?
I do. Yeah. What's it called again?
A ring of spell turning.
We probably want to save it for whoever's going to be doing the ritual.
The one who killed her.
That'll be either Cal or Ilkaas, I imagine, because I've got too many concentration spells as it is.
Yeah. I currently don't have a slot. I'd have to unattune the sword, the scimitar, or the tome. I'm not unattuning the tome.
No. I've got a space free as well, but I don't know how useful it's going to be on me.
I mean, you can just wear it for now, and if we ever feel like someone else would be more useful, we might just hand over.
Yeah. Well, we can figure it out later anyway, can't we?
Well, if you say you stick it on for now, and then yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, as long as one of you adds it to your inventory, because otherwise you'll forget you had it.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
add it, and we figure it out later.
Okay. So, as you sit around on the floor, staring at each other, how are each of you reacting now? You've had a small time to take in what's happened, and what's your plan going forward? Are you choosing to leave?
Farrah will get up. Well, I think that's enough fighting for one day, she says, kind of exhausted looking and a bit upset.
I'm
I
ready
agree
to leave
still
this
there.
place behind me.
Yeah, I don't think we can leave right this second, unfortunately. Not in our condition. And she looks over to Cal. But I think that's enough exploring, at least for today.
I think as soon as we're ready, we should leave this place.
Well, there's at least one place we can still check, Meadhan. Do you remember the chest?
On the ceiling.
I saw you were going in that direction. Did you find out what was in it?
Nah, I couldn't get it to budge. I don't know if anyone had any ideas.
I can't remember. Was it magically locked?
It was, and it was stuck to the ceiling as well. And seemingly no matter
Yeah,
how
there was
hard-
no padlock or anything.
Nope, no padlock.
Yeah. There's only two things left that I really want to do. Is put this little red gem from this skull head in that other room.
You would be able to do that.
Yeah, and then I want to seal that room with my stone shape to make it look like there was no door there.
You'd also be able to do
Yeah.
that without any issue. As long as you've got the spell slots.
Yeah, I got one. Assuming we don't get our 9th level ones, I've still got one.
No, you do not. Not until the long rest.
Yeah, well, I've still got one there. And then I've got this thing. And let me just see if I've got another dispel magic spell slot. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Oh well. I have to leave the chest, I guess.
Okay, so is your plan to retreat somewhere else in the temple and rest, and have a short rest, or even a long rest, and move back down the mountain the way you came, or are you simply leaving as you are, or?
How many detect magics have we got left in general? Nigel? Ilkaas?
I've only got one left.
I'd potentially have 4.
It's a lot. Just because you could go to the doors and just see if there's anything magical in there, but not go in.
But won't all the amber stuff be magical?
Yeah, but you could discern it as a different type of magic, maybe? I'm not sure.
I think Ilkaas just kind of wants to rest after getting half attacked.
Oh yeah, I'm meaning after a rest. Like, this is determining whether we have a short rest and then do it, or just have a long rest now and go back.
Okay.
Long rest, please.
Okay, so are you going to
Don't know how
short?
helpful it'll be.
Are you going to short rest, or are you going to long rest? I will remind you, if you choose to long rest, there is potential downsides.
Yeah.
Fuck
it, we can't be much worse off shape than we are now, right? Right?
Get bad. But we need to sleep indoors anyway, because I don't think we can get very far.
Wait, what if we did like? Would that be a bad idea if only me, Nigel, and Cal had a long rest? Less of us likely to have some freaky ass nightmare, considering you guys are like full health.
Eventually, but then you would also probably suffer from exhaustion, like regardless.
They would,
then.
wouldn't they?
Yeah, regardless, and then also I haven't got any spell slots.
Spell slots, yeah.
Can
Oh,
we just rest outside?
You could do that.
Yeah, it's chilly.
I was gonna say, if we got enough to.
You know, what's
warm.
worse, being cold or creepy temple?
Yeah,
It's being cold.
Yeah.
that's a decision.
What was the downsides of being really fucking cold? Just not being able to sleep, I assume.
I'll tell you just so you know what decision you're going to be making. So the temperature is so cold and the wind's so high outside the Amber Temple that even the most hardy of adventurers cannot survive unharmed for extended periods. When the characters choose to take a long rest outside the Amber Temple, they must succeed on a DC, or I'd say the DC, but they must succeed on a con save. On a failure, they take 1 point of exhaustion, and your max HP is also reduced by a certain amount. Characters who are resistant to cold do have advantage on the saving throw, though.
Oh, really?
The cow's got the ring of warmth, so
That's very true.
counts resistance, right?
The ring
He's
of
not wearing it.
Okay.
the ring of warmth would, I believe, completely stop any. Oh no, it's only resistant to cold damage. Okay. Yeah, I think you still would have to make it then.
Well, first of all, I think we go into the other room, right? To the other where we slept before.
So just at the front of the temple where you fought the
Where we came in.
barbarians. Yeah.
Why not? Or the lit room? Is the lit room more?
Oh yeah, the
cozy?
librarian. Yeah,
Yeah.
the library.
Good. Another option. They're probably both equally as cold. I'll say that much.
I mean, yeah, we could. It's just we have to use that ladder again because I've already sealed out the room.
You could head in through the. Oh yeah, you have sealed up the room. Well, you'd be able to do that after if you wanted to.
Yeah, but after a long rest, it means I have to use up my spell slot. So
How do you mean?
if I long rest in there,
Oh,
I'm
I
out.
see what you mean. Yeah, I do see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
I think either way is fine.
Yeah, okay,
Much
well,
mind.
I will say, just for the sake of thing, that you move yourselves over to the rest spot that you are familiar with.
Die, old cow.
You don't belong in this world. Okay, so you creep or sort of tiredly stumble through the Amber Temple, back the direction you went, climbing the large stairs, your footsteps echoing as you reach the top. And then you push the large temple doors open, revealing the small room where you previously slept the night before.
Yeah.
So are you taking a short rest in here?
Long rest.
Yeah, it just depends whether people want to look for more shit or not.
I don't want to look for more shit.
Ilkaas wants to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Don't blame me.
Agreed.
Nope.
This place is bad.
It's bad. Bad.
Made a bad place to rest.
Yeah. Evil.
Cow's gonna ritually cast alarm in front of the opening to the outside.
Okay.
Smart.
So you guys are choosing to take a long rest, correct?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw for me then, please.
If you're within
I
10
don't
feet of
suppose-
Cal, you get +3.
Do the watches matter?
17.
By +3, I mean +2.
I won't have you roll.
17.
When we have exhaustion, the exhaustion only goes at the very end of the long rest, doesn't it?
That's correct, yes.
So we have to go
But-
through this ordeal first.
But it wouldn't be with disadvantage because it's a save, not an ability check.
Yeah. It's just whether is there any chance I'll get this one to go away
shit,
and then I'll get
28.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone got +1 from being level 9 now, right?
Ow.
Or not, I can't remember.
Piss blanket.
Oh no.
I get +3 though, so it takes up to 14. Please let that be
+2, love, sorry.
Okay, so
Well,
anyone
13's a bad number.
anyone who got less than a 17
Yes, mate.
Oh.
You're welcome.
you suffer another point of exhaustion as
Gotta get.
throughout the night you're visited by more terrible nightmares. And this time the nightmares are equally as disturbing as they were before. This time you Meadhan, the first thing you feel like reaching out, the flashing images going through your mind, you see an awful bestial creature with long dark claws that drip this black oozing substance, and with sharp elongated teeth that protrude from its mouth. You see a creature that resembles a woman, but her skin is filled with boils that ooze pus. And like a leper, her skin decays as it reaches out to grab you in your sleep. Nigel, you also suffer similar dreams.
Oh, good.
Visions of awful fiery hounds, not dissimilar from that of Lancelot in his taken form, let's say. And beyond that, there is also strange eldritch creatures that are impossible to describe. So, now that you've both failed that, I also need you to roll a second wisdom saving throw, both of you.
+2.
Okay.
Oh.
But this time, despite how exhausting the nightmares are, you're almost, just by remaining in this place, you're building up a resilience to the constant whispers that just sort of tickle the back of your mind every now and then, and they grow louder and louder as the more time you spend here, to the point where when each of you awake in the morning, you almost look around the room and you feel like you hear a chattering that's just emanating from almost seemingly nowhere. However, you do get the benefits of a long rest.
Me and Nigel included.
Does that recover the exhaustion or not in this place?
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm confused.
Yes, let me double check. Yeah, Nigel and Meadhan would not gain the benefits of a long rest.
At all.
Oh, fuck me
At all.
sideways.
Fuck.
You would get the benefits of a short rest, though.
Oh.
I
Do
don't
you
think
have
I've
any
got
dice
any
left?
anyway, so...
No.
Nope.
If you've got any dice
Yeah.
left, yeah.
Otherwise, it gets rid of the exhaustion for everyone that passed. Me.
And me.
Oh yeah,
I'm
okay,
fine.
Stu. Yeah.
Why does Nigel have a skull and crossbones on him?
Don't know.
I can't remember.
And neither can I, so let's just say that is gone. I imagine it wasn't that important.
So Meadhan's on 2 levels of exhaustion now.
He is.
Yep.
Half speed. Fuck.
He is slow boy.
Nigel's on 1.
So you can see
I
that
don't know how to do that.
if you on D&D Beyond, and there should be a bit that says conditions at the sort of top right-ish area, I believe. If you click that, and then it should give you an option.
Yeah, conditions.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, I said that right. I
Yeah.
realised where it was right after I just clicked on the wrong thing.
Yeah, and the exhaustion bit should be right down the bottom with the numbers. So you're on
They still
1
get
level.
to update their health and stuff as if they leveled up, though. I assume.
Yes, you can do that though. I will allow that.
Oh shit! You know what? I haven't done that. Thank you for reminding
And
me.
your max HP, if it was reduced anyway, would go back to normal.
Oh, from the watching.
Yes.
Thank God for that. At least I got that going for me.
Yeah.
Look
Have
at
you got
all
3
the
hit points,
HP you had.
What was
How
that?
much could
Anya?
you have had?
Nothing.
I think she's saying, look at all the HP I could have had if I'd had a long rest. Don't forget to add your 29 though from your hit dice.
Oh. Why am I on 6 on roll 20, but I was on 16?
You may have not updated it on D&D Beyond, I'm guessing.
So we're level 9 now, right?
You are level 9
Yep.
now, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get level 10 when Strahd kills us, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Right, so. You
Does
awake?
Ilkaas eat, Kieran?
I don't think so. He hasn't so far.
Hasn't needed to,
Okay.
no.
We're down to 8 rations.
Yes. I need to pick a spell.
Don't poop either.
Nice.
Just lays perfectly formed eggs.
Pearls,
Each
I
one.
believe.
Yeah,
Pearls of power.
Yeah, pearls of, he poos pearls of power once a month.
Oh, nice.
He's got a horde of them at Argynvost'Ra. He's not
Not
talking
like
about.
sounding, though.
Oh god, oh god, you made gag, fuck me.
Why
From-
does that come up so often with you, Kieran?
It's a source of fascination, I think.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair point, well made.
The Meadhan looks like absolute shit
He
this
don't-
morning, right?
Certainly. Imagine Stefan can describe to you how bad he looks.
Ilkaas would say, Meadhan, you're looking pretty bad. Maybe we could go get that chariot and take you down.
As long as I don't need to move it or anything.
I'm assuming Nigel wouldn't be looking that hot this morning either.
Yeah, you're looking pretty out of it, like you've been up all night. You almost
How
feel...
will...
Sorry, go on, Cam.
No, it's just he's gonna give Meadhan 20 lay on hands points to start the day. He looks like he seriously needs it.
Wake me up before you go.
Yeah, Ilkaas will do the cure wounds when he thinks to the chariot, and no one else seems as fascinated by it as him.
Was it still in good shape, the chariot?
Yeah, surprisingly well preserved, actually.
Huh.
Probably was big enough to house at least sort of one medium creature, you think?
Probably not great through the snow though, Ilkaas. But Meadhan, if you do need a lift, well, I'm sure I can think of something.
As long as we don't need to move quickly, I can move.
Right, maybe we could take off the wheels and put skis on it instead.
Does he know what a ski is? Does any of us know what a ski is?
Well, skis were made quite a long time ago.
No?
Yeah.
I got no idea. Kieran could be completely bullshitting me now, and I'm just like, yeah. But skis were made in 1922. So, oh.
Snowboards too, yeah?
Yeah.
Earliest evidence is 5000 BCE, apparently.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just 2 planks of wood on you.
It's, yeah, that's a good point.
Steph, update your fucking health bar. I want to see it.
Oh, sorry.
One day I'll find a way of linking them.
29 total.
I need Tom to do like play testing, how he made it somehow work on his campaign.
Oh no. Yeah.
Should be that.
That's with the 29 added in.
Oh, sorry, no. Sorry, I was leveling up.
Yeah.
He's exhausted in real life.
And the 9.
Exactly.
And the 9 for
Exactly.
Ilkaas.
Yeah, 29 total.
Why is that funny?
I'll do it. It's fine.
Look,
You focus on.
I got it. I got it. So that was on 16. So
45. You're on. I've done it for you.
Okay, that's better. There we go.
You're all right, Meadhan. We can just sleep at work like I do in real life.
I come so close.
I told my mum that you do that on here, and she found it really funny.
It's good to know.
She was like,
If I ever meet your mum, that'll be the only thing I know she knows about me.
because I told her what your job is, because she really likes that kind of stuff, and she was like, "Oh, I'd love to do that job," and I was like, "Yeah, but Anja just sleeps most of the time when she was there," and she was like, "Yeah, so would I, to be fair."
Can't help it. It's a medical condition. Making
Right.
fun of me for my disability.
Right, so as you awake in the morning, in your plan, I assume to leave the Amber Temple behind now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay. Right. Well,
I don't suppose you'd consider sealing any of the other entrances, Farrah? I know it taxes your reserves.
It does. Perhaps if we could just do it one time. Any particular entrance you're thinking?
The front door, to be honest.
Yeah. Where is the front door?
you would remember that it is over here. That you would be able to do that without any issue.
Is it daylight now?
Well, for Barovia, yeah.
Grey light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Farrah, if you were to cast Stone Shape, you would be able to create the dimensions described by the spell and create
Let
a
me
barrier
just
that
see.
blocks.
It depends really on how big the space is. Because if it's 10 feet, like it says, then I don't think it's only going to take one spell slot.
Yeah, it would be about 10 feet, 8 to 9 feet across.
Yeah. What about slightly inside?
No, it's
Well,
about that
no,
direct
same
length all the way
across.
through, yeah.
I mean, I could do it twice. That'd probably block it. But that's 2 4th level spell slots.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. We could.
Cal's gonna quickly
Mm-hmm.
wander back inside,
Yep.
go to the guy that Ilkaas got his staff from,
Okay, yep.
grab his skull,
Mm-hmm.
apologise, come back out.
I will say one thing I'm curious about the body, Cal, is that the body itself is not really a skeleton. It doesn't look that long dead.
Oh, well, he's not wrenching someone's head off.
Yeah, do a medicine check for me if you wanna.
Cool.
Just thinking the combat before, you're not really sure.
3.
Yeah, you're not really sure how long he's been dead, but it definitely doesn't look like he's not a skeleton.
Okay. And we can't easily get to the big pile of bones.
No, but you do know there is a skeleton within the secret room that Meadhan went into where you fetch the Wand of Secrets. Which would be like over here, if you remember.
But our only way to do that shit is Mage Hand, which was Casimir, who's sadly no longer with us.
That's true, yeah. That is how you got it, I forgot.
Whatever. He won't do that now.
Okay.
Try and move one of these statues in front of the door to block it a bit.
They are pretty fucking tall.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
So
More-
you better push it down the stairs, block the whole way.
They're kind of like in alcoves as well. It's not really going to be easy to move them.
I'll just turn into a giant elk and drag it out.
Yeah, good luck with that.
He more wanted to make a warning, but that's fine. He'll just take his scimitar, like not his dancing scimitar, his old scimitar,
Mm-hmm.
and got nothing fancy to do with it.
What I
But
could
he'll-
do... Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're just gonna stab it into the floor in the entrance as like a warning.
I was gonna say something similar. You could use stone shape to like make as much of a barrier as you can here, and then you could put a warning on it, write on it, or carve into it, or just stone shape.
Carving might take a while.
information.
Yeah, if you can stone shape a warning into it.
Yeah, I think I'd allow that. I think that's quite a creative and cool solution.
Worth a 4th level spell, guys.
Oh, where did everyone go?
It would be to
Ilkaas.
cow.
Ilkaas is just kicking up snow with his staff of frost, and he's like, "Come on, I want to go home."
I'll move you over, Meadhan, don't worry.
Oh, thank you. I was like, yeah, he's so dark, it's scary. There we go.
Yeah, it would be to cow. He doesn't like leaving this place unprotected.
You can shape a stone door or its frame to seal the door shut. Okay.
Okay. So,
You can do that if you want. It doesn't specifically say you can put stuff into it though. That's the only. This is what it says basically.
I'd allow it. I think you're carving a stone thing. I think you're able to shape a small amount of it. I think it's not a significant amount that it's becoming a huge like sculpture. I think it's reasonable. Personally, I think with a simple, you could put a simple symbol of danger on there. That might be the universal symbol of danger. Yeah, you could
Make it look like a screaming face.
Screaming face. Some
Okay.
creepy druidic letters on there.
Ilkaas just looks at it. It's like, well, if they've come up here, they're probably not going to listen to it.
No, but perhaps it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'll take any chance. Can.
We could try and get as much as I can. So I can do I can move 5 feet of stuff. So 5 feet tall, like that.
I think you'd be able to make a 5 foot tall, 5 foot wide stone sort of in the centre.
Right in the middle, like that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And make it
Cow will
5 foot
stab his
tall.
scimitar on the ground in front of it.
Okay. So, with that in mind, you begin your journey back down the mountain, I assume.
At half speed.
Half speed. Okay.
Yeah. Unless Meadhan wants a lift.
He'll only take that if he starts slowing people down, basically.
He already is.
Yeah, he 100% is.
Yeah, we're getting half speed, yeah. It's chilly, man.
What, just-
Chilly.
Just because of him.
Yeah, because your
Yeah.
speed is half of ours,
Yeah.
so we have to
Mhm.
slow to match you.
And Nigel's is as well, right?
No, he's
I
only
think
on
Nigel's
one
only
level.
on 1.
Is only one? Am I the only one on 2?
Yes.
Fuck's sake.
Okay.
Remember this with Neville.
So, as you're travelling back, I've already worked it out. If you're heading to Argynvost'Ra, it will take you at a normal pace about 2.5 days of travel. But first of all, is that where you're headed?
There's nowhere else closer, is there?
Technically the
are we meant
winery,
to
but
be
there's no
going-
one there anymore.
Yeah, are we meant
And
to be
not
going
by
direct
much.
there? One thing
Where
Farrah
about
would
that?
ask as
You,
well.
this, I will say, like,
I'm pinging it, so.
you ain't going to be able to like go
Oh.
through the mountains like this. They're ridiculously tall. You have to go the way you came, which means sort of heading down like this, and then
So where's the winery?
the winery is to the west, more over here.
Are we not blocked off by the avalanche crash?
Farrah.
No, you would be able to climb back up through that way now that the snow's settled.
Yeah.
Before we go anywhere, Farrah would have also asked if anybody had any magic that could locate things far away. I want to find the blue gem, but I can't think of a way to do it. I haven't got any
Do we
spells
not have
to do
any
it, sadly.
clues or leads or anything?
You have
No.
no idea where
I
it
think
is.
we did know. If anyone's got any divine magic, perhaps? I don't, sadly.
No. Oh, I've got a locate object, but
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
got a
that's-
range of 1,000 feet, which is very little.
Yeah.
Don't you need to be familiar with it?
I can describe it. Oh, familiar to you. You're right, Steph. But I mean, if it's a blue
Oh yeah,
version of
you
the other
100%
gem,
would be able
then-
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just we need a general location.
So, no.
I've got no clues, so
Probably a
nothing.
Ravenloft.
could be.
Probably Strahd's butt plug.
Could be.
Sound plug.
Ugh, stop saying it. It's so disgusting.
You keep reacting like that, he's going to keep saying it.
No. I take away points of inspiration.
Take away his legs.
What about the other direction, Liz? Is there any way to go that way, or is it just too scary because we've not been that way?
You could go look.
Why would we go that way, though?
Might be quicker.
Right, going south.
No, not south, not this way.
Right.
Oh well, going that way, you can see from here. You're basically scaling an entire mountain. It would, and it's like it's just you'd have to. I mean, it's not impossible, but you'd need climbing gear. You'd need. It's thousands and thousands of feet. Like it's not.
Yeah, downhill,
Okay.
please.
Easy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 2.5 days, we better get started.
Well, 2.5 days at a normal pace. We're not travelling at a normal pace currently.
We will be. Meadhan, you get on my back. My bareback.
Can we not speed it up by making it a montage?
He's riding
with,
bareback.
Was it Twisted Roots? Armory? Armory?
Montage it.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so if you are using Farrah's wild
Wild
shape
shape.
forms, then you can travel at a normal pace, and it'll take you about 2.5 days.
Yep.
Okay. For each day, I need people to make some rolls for me. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind who does it, but I need one person to roll a D8 and a D12 for the first day. Well, and then we can roll 2 of them if you want. I need 2 rolls of a D8 and a D12 for the first day, for the second day, and for the third day. But only 1 for the third day because it's half a day.
What was it? D8 and a D12.
Mm-hmm.
Kieran's got it.
If you don't,
Oh yeah, it's free eye.
Nice.
3 dog. Oh.
and then I need a
Yeah,
second. I need a
yeah.
second lot of I need another D8 and a D12.
Go on, Hannah.
Yay. D12.
Oh, creepy.
5
dog.
Okay.
5 alive.
So, on the first day, as you begin your descent from the heights of Mount Gacchus, you slowly make your way down, retracing your steps through the snow, crossing the bridge at Selenka Pass and looking over to the hundreds and hundreds of feet below, the lake that lies there and the river that runs in a southwesterly direction. And now, as you slowly make your way down, you start to realise that you can see the forest again, and you're below the sort of cloud of mist that was almost acting as a sea at the base of Selenka Pass. And as you make your way down, on the way, is there anything that you might say to each other during this time? Is there anything you might want to discuss, or would the travel be mostly just focused on the task at hand, getting to your destination as quickly as you possibly could?
Farrah's pretty focused. She is a bear. She can't speak anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cal's got a little thing, but it's for Farrah not in bear form, so whenever that's appropriate.
Probably be on like a short break or something.
Yeah, go ahead. This is pretty freeform, so...
Yeah, it's not a huge thing, but he would try and catch her when she's kind of stood vaguely apart from the others, and he'd walk up and and just say, "I have something for you." Kind of like he's got his hand as a balled fist, like he's holding something in his hand.
She'll just look at you, kind of curious. Did you find something, Cal? Or she'll
Not
put a hand out?
so much found, and he'd drop Casimir's ring into her hand.
Ah.
And he'd just say, as he does it, he'd say, if my time in Menzo Baranzan, my time here, even my time wandering and helping people, at all times, it is a reality that sometimes death is a mercy.
I think I know what you mean, Cal, but it's never been something nice. It doesn't feel like a mercy when you're doing it.
No. I think if it did, that's when you need to start questioning yourself. Just shows you're still who you want to be. Hold on to that. Let it remind you of what you've come through, and how you've kept people together.
She sort of looks around a little bit, and the sooner we leave this place, the better, I think. The quicker that I can forget what this place has done to me, and what it's caused me to lose.
Of course.
And yourself, Cal, as well. I'm sure you're more even more eager than I am.
I was, knowing that amber blight on the land is there now. I don't know if I can leave it behind.
I did wonder. Potentially, as we've taken down most of its guard, perhaps burying it in the rubble is probably an idea. Or in the snow.
Indeed. Whatever happens, seems like things bigger than von Zarevich are at work, but one thing at a time. We'll see his head roll. Then I can think about what the next step might be.
Do we know if this land would just be revealed to, like, Farrah?
You
Or
have no idea.
we have no idea, yeah.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah. I can't say what the outcome will be, Cal, whether we'll be able to do that or not. But, yeah.
You know, he has
His
to
head
die.
will roll. He does. Just hope he won't just simply be replaced. But, yeah, either way, I need to get out of here.
We shall.
Okay.
Thank-
Sorry, Anna,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you for the ring, and that's about it.
Yeah, he just nod and head off.
Yeah.
So as you travel amongst yourselves for a few more hours, eventually you find yourself making your way back through the forest, following the beacons marked by ancient knights of the Order of the Silver Dragon. And as you do, Ilkaas, you're the first to kind of spot it within the woods. Something you didn't notice before. But as you look down, you see like almost like a label sticking out of the snow. And
What, like on a duvet cover?
almost, yeah. almost like a bit of like cardboard, almost like with like a bit of string attached to it.
Oh man, he's not picking that up. It looks like an obvious trap. He's just ignore it.
Okay. I think as Ilkaas walks past it, choosing to ignore whatever lies within the snow, you push on a little further, descending through the snow as the winds hit high against your face before you need to rest for the evening. However, in the distance as you rest, it's hard to see, but from your elevated position, you can barely make out beyond the trees. You can see what looks like the base of Yester Hill. And in the very distance you can see lights. And lights of fire. Almost dancing throughout the night. Whatever this signals. You're unsure.
Signals? So like with the smoke of the fire?
You can see multiple fires across the hill. You can just about make out the smoke that builds up to the sky from it.
Yes, Till's that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where are we now?
You're probably somewhere like around here. It's far in the distance when you're still at this elevated position, but you can just about make out small fires in the very far distance as you settle down to rest.
That's interesting. Yeah. Do they look like actual signals? Like periodic smoke puffs, or just smoke?
No, nothing like that. They just look like fires in the distance. And
Okay.
smoke clouds that come up from them. There are quite a few of them.
Was Cal around for the ritual and stuff at Yester Hill? Or was that Pitch?
I don't believe so. I believe that was Pitch.
Yeah. that Cal wouldn't be overly concerned.
Okay.
Farrah would be very concerned. Especially because she knows she's put the gem there already.
So as you settle down to rest, another night passes and you all get the benefit of a long rest,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
removing any exhaustion you might have. Or a level of exhaustion for Meadhan.
I was just going to say A levels.
Yeah. And then for the second day, can I get someone to roll me a d8 and a d12 and a d8 and another person to roll a d8 and a d12 for me?
My turn, my turn.
In the morning, are the fires still there?
It would
Or
be
not, yeah.
it would be too hard to see, I think, in the day.
Yeah.
They're easy to make out because of how dark it is, and then
She would
okay.
mention it to everybody then about the fires and the probably just generic druidy stuff she would mention, but she wouldn't think people understand the proper ritual. But she would say they put the gem there before, so maybe it's something to do with that.
Possibly.
Do you want to divert towards there?
I just wonder whether it could be nefarious or perhaps not.
It could just be a distraction. If he knows we've been to that Amber Temple, he probably knows that we're coming.
Okay. But we're coming regardless, just...
Well, not if he...
Not if we divert.
Yeah, I just wonder what it could be. It could be... I just wonder if it could be... like I said, nefarious, or... perhaps the druids have returned. That's optimistic though, I think.
Interesting, but unless we want to divert there, we're not going to know.
No.
Okay, can I get another d8 and a d12, please?
When was the last time we took up ration?
Oh yeah,
That's a good question.
we're down to 4.
Is this day 1 or day 2, Liz?
Day 2 now.
2 now.
Day 1 I already took off. Yeah, day 2. If we're doing 1 per day. If we're doing 2 per day, then we fucking run out.
No, 1 per day. 1 per day.
You got 4 left.
Time to go hunting.
Yeah. Or Goodberry. One or the other.
It's up to you.
Feed us, mummy.
We'll need to roll a d10 though, see how many you get.
Just debate whether or not to prepare Goodberry. It's a bit of a waste, you know.
Stefan, roll the dice, please.
Oh, sorry. Which one's what?
A d8
I
and a
have to
d12.
apologise for.
please.
Just nobody was doing it.
D8.
And I picked you.
Bonk. Bonk.
Oh. Oh.
Okay. So, I assume you start the next day early, as the sun, well, the light that remains in Barovia lights your way, and as you descend down the mountain further, you now can quite clearly see the beacon of light that lies atop the cliff and towards the east, towards Argynvost'Ra. And now you find yourself more surrounded by trees on the western side of the path. And in the early parts of the morning, upon the path ahead of you, just in the distance, you can make out what looks like huge riders on top, horseback. They're not moving towards you though, moving away. Could Anyone who wants to do a perception check for me?
Go on, Farrah.
I'll do a perception check.
You got them fancy eyes.
Oh, so many.
Yeah, with Cow and Farrah looking off into the distance, you can see at the very edge of your vision that this rider looks almost skeletal. And the mount, whatever he rides, also appears to have a skeletal appearance.
It's death.
Mm.
Perhaps an
The
ominous...
horse.
The horse
The horse
itself,
is just a horse.
it looks skeletal as well.
Ooh.
Perhaps an ominous omen of death, such as Anja said,
Maybe.
as it rides northward up through the forest, seemingly paying you no mind. As your journey continues, the weather gets gradually warmer, but it's still not a comfortable temperature. However, the winds are not as harsh, and the snowfall gradually dies down and becomes hail for a short time, and then just rain as it beats against your skin. However, as you reach the edge of the forest, making your way through after maybe a short rest to gather yourselves, you are suddenly, as you sit around, taken upon by some kind of invisible force. It almost stalks out of the trees, and you hear its footsteps running across the floor, looking around as you do, unsure of what approaches. Could I have any of you who want to roll a nature check for me?
Yep.
Could Cal use divine sense?
You may use divine sense, yes. Just double check something with that.
I thought I'd rolled in that one there. How could I roll less than in that one?
Well, remind me, divine sense is fiends, undead, and
Celestial.
celestial. You don't get any pings from it.
Okay. Good to know.
Ooh, some bad rolls, apart from Cal. Cal, though, you recognise as there seems to be movement through the trees, and you have stalked these woods long enough to know that your party is attacked by a group of invisible stalkers. And they become to lunge at you, running through the things. Some of them swipe their claws, knocking you aside as you beat them away with weapon and shield. And many of them, one of them tries to almost like grab at your waist, Cal, as you do. Can I have everyone in the party roll a d20 for me?
Cal would have called out that they're visible stalkers, and to get people to stand together back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I did wonder, since I got my one level of exhaustion back, did we start moving any quicker? Because Meadhan would have probably encouraged, so...
You certainly,
It's about the same, unless we want to go fast
you could go fast paced if you wanted to.
I think.
Nigel,
we would
do
go.
D20.
Slowly down.
I'm trying, but my laptop is not working.
How many tabs?
Fine.
Silence speaks volumes.
No, I had to count.
You want me to roll it for you, Anja?
Yes, please. It's not even letting me reload the page at this point.
Okay. You all managed to successfully, as these, you can feel, Cal, there's this, it almost seems like this stalker is trying to grab something from your belongings, off your waist, whatever it can grab, but you quickly identify that these creatures are almost like trying to steal something from you, and you beat them aside, and together, with your combined force, you're far too much for these creatures. and you put them down. Their elemental forms dissipating as you do. How would you guys react to this?
Well, with the feeling that they're trying to grab at stuff, Cal would check his belongings, particularly the tome.
Yeah, it would all still be there.
Meadhan's probably just like flailing in random directions just to make sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know much about the creatures, but if they're trying to steal something, I think definitely Strahd is the sender.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption.
Do you think they were looking for anything in particular?
Possibly.
Do a quick insight check. Cat, I'd say, and Ilkaas maybe.
Ilkaas would be like, the Sunblade.
Shh, whisper.
You did.
Yeah, he did. I know.
It's more like a hiss.
I think, Cal, you can determine based off how they were grabbing. They almost seemed like they were just trying to grab anything they could. Well, I don't think Ilkaas would get that based on that insight check.
Band of thievy boys.
So yeah, he'd reply that to Meadhan.
It
I
didn't
think
seem
they were just
targeted.
looking to grab anything. Is odd behaviour.
Quite strange. Well, hopefully we won't see any more. Or
We
not
won't
see
see them at all.
Yeah.
We fended them off. That's what matters. Let's refocus. We're getting closer.
So you continue to push on, and now you arrive through the woods as the canopy almost forms like a portal in the trees as they kind of sort of like bend over towards each other, like a gate almost, and you slowly push your way through as the low light levels from the clouded sky above it becomes very dark within the forest, even at this time during sort of mid to late afternoon, sort of mid-afternoon. And you continue to push on until you finally have to settle down for another rest for the evening.
How far do we get in the bush?
You'd probably get about here, let's say.
Okay.
So, as you settle down, would there be anything any of you would discuss or do in this day's travel?
Probably just probably normal stuff. As we get closer, probably hunting. Like if we need to be hunting, or whether Farrah's just gonna.
It's up to you. If you want to do that, you can.
Yeah, I
certainly
feel like I
try.
might. I also kind of want to go find some herbs.
Cal would definitely hunt. He's had to hunt to stay alive.
Mm-hmm. So if Farrah wants to do find herbs and Cal wants to hunt, can you both roll survival checks for me?
Yeah. Guidance.
Okay. You do both manage after. It probably takes about an hour or so each, but you're foraging through the woods, and Cal, your keen sense for creatures in this part of the thing, you listen carefully out into the wilds of the forest, and in the very far distance you begin to hear a howl of a wolf. But it sounds almost like it's searching, based off your experience with the many wolves that lie in the stand. Perhaps it sounds like the howl sounds unusual, not like it's searching for its pack. It sounds maybe like it's searching for prey, or it's trying to indicate something. But you get the impression that perhaps it's on its own. And you make your way. Would Cal go alone, or would he bring maybe like Nigel with him, or would he bring anyone with him at all?
He would have asked before he went if anybody wants to accompany me. I'm going to hunt. Food are running low.
Would anyone apart from Farrah? Because she's doing her own separate thing.
I mean, Farrah can give you a hunting partner.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Nigel would offer to go if he'd be any use.
Okay.
He'd be
Hunting
used.
cat.
Huh?
Do I want a massive slab of muscle and brutality with me as backup? Yes.
Yes, but he's also the least subtle person in the world, so you could be like trying to shoot a deer and he'd just be like, oh, look, it's deer!
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, he'd gladly take Nigel's offer.
Okay, so with Nigel at your back, you begin to show him as you track these wolf, any sign of wolf tracks throughout the forest. First, you find like a tuft of fur that's sort of caught on like a loose branch, and then eventually you happen upon tracks, and after a short while, you begin to spot movement in the distance. Can both of you roll stealth checks for me?
No, aren't, I'm afraid.
Well, you gotta.
Well,
Oh.
no, that
Oh, if you literally can't.
genuinely can't.
Okay. Well, if Tom, would you like to roll a stealth check with advantage? I'll say, as Nigel will be helping you. Essentially. Oh wait, I might have to reload my. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reload my internet. Sorry, guys, I'm lagging massively. Because my internet's really good.
Are you recording still?
Yep, I'm still recording. It's just starting to lag, which means probably Maria or Jamie are starting to use it. So let me connect to my hotspot quickly. Hello, can people hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I have reconnected. Okay. Ooh, a 9. Okay. As you go to sneak up on this wolf in the distance, Cal, you and Nigel together, not the most stealthy of bedfellows, and underneath your feet, you both first you crack a twig under your feet, which kind of like makes Nigel jump, and he kind of stumbles forwards and trips over a rock, and this wolf kind of like darts its eyes up at you and then just starts running off into the distance. If you've got any ranged attacks, you can make one now for me and see if you manage to get this. I will say at disadvantage though, because of how bad that stealth check was.
I would, but I can't.
Again, Tom, you can do it for Anja if you want.
Can you do me a blood spear attack, please, Tom?
Yeet in your spear.
Eating the spear.
Holy shit, good roll.
I haven't even looked yet.
You got 39 and 42.
Oh, amazing.
Okay.
39.
Together though, as you, Cal, you sort of point out for Nigel where to shoot, to throw his blood spear ahead of the wolf, and you kind of pull your bow back and sort of line the shot up with your eye. And as Nigel throws the spear, it actually misses the wolf and lands kind of next to it, but it startles it enough where you had just got it point blank in your sights, and you just and unleash the arrow and just directly in the side as it lets out a yelp and then drops to the floor.
Goes for a high five with Nigel.
Need to high five him back.
Yeah.
Okay. Together, I'd say, with the carcass of the wolf, you could probably harvest. Roll a d10 for me, please, Tom. About 5 rations, I'd say, in total.
I'll take it.
Okay, and Farrah, you're doing a survival check as well. A 24 in total with your guidance. Would you bring anyone with you to search these woods for herbs?
She would ask Ilkaas, I think. Ilkaas, do you know much about herbs?
No.
Have you read anything in your books?
A bit. I can help.
She like rips up one like a nearby herb and just like, do you know what this is?
Sage.
Is it sageless?
You can improv it. It's fine. Like, don't ask for permission. It's fine.
Right.
You can always improv stuff like this. It's nothing significant.
Yeah, that's right, Ilkaas. That's good enough. Do you want to help me collect some herbs? I can maybe make a health potion. Could be useful.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. And then he'd like pull out his notes. He's like, I'm gonna make a list, and then we can tick them off as we find them.
That's a good idea. And off we go.
Okay, so as you make your way throughout the forest, could one of you roll a d12 for me? Don't mind who.
Kieran, I already rolled the survival.
Re-roll the 8. In fact, just roll a d20. D20 for me. That'll make more sense. Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Let me just quickly check this. So as you're making your way through the forest, could both of you roll just straight dexterity checks for me first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you're making your way through the forest, Ilkaas is really focused on his notes, and I imagine Ilkaas, he's got like a long list of different herbs that he's heard of, and Farrah's kind of reminding him of some, and he's got like a... I imagine Ilkaas being very organised, Kieran, like...
He's organised in the way that I am, which is
chaotic
organised in his own way. Yeah.
So, Farrah, you look over at Ilkaas's notes and you're a bit like, God, that seems maybe a bit overly complicated for what it needs to be, but it seems very thorough and is very useful. And you go over different herbs you find throughout the forest, and some are in pretty low supply, and some are just different things from like sort of different techniques that you know from your druidic background, such as how to get the sap off a tree that can be quite useful and stuff like that. But as Ilkaas is walking through the forest, you hear this like shing sound, and can you quickly make a dexterity saving throw for me, please, Ilkaas?
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. So as you look down, Farrah, you're like, crap, as you see something, a familiar sight to you, as you recognise it to be a bear trap that is just like, the claws are going up, and you see Ilkaas suddenly, like, almost instinctually, like, he goes from writing notes, like, really quickly, just like, la 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 la, I love herbs, and then just suddenly his foot just goes, he just like, his eyes go like that thing, like where cats do, where they suddenly like go really like small and kind of like almost like predatorial, and you see him just like just kind of like throw himself backwards out of the jaws of the trap as they slam together and sort of make this awful clanging sound.
Well, looks like we should be careful around here. I'm not sure who's setting these traps.
He's been hunting all the way out here.
I'm not sure. What, haven't we come across traps before? Who placed those? Do we know?
I mean, you could assume that you've seen wolf hunters from Valaki. Not impossible they head out this far.
Okay. Probably just people hunting for their food. We should just be careful.
Well, they should put some sort of sign on it. The animals don't understand the sign, but then you'd be able to tell.
That is true, and then they'd be able to find them easier as well.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah, you're right, I guess. But yeah, no. You carry on with your notes. I'll keep an eye out.
He sort of looks at the bear trap. He's just like, does it look rusty?
It definitely does look somewhat rusty around the sort of edges of the teeth.
He's gonna get his little knife out and he's gonna scrape off some rust.
Okay.
To a little bag.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, I never know. Could be useful.
She looks at him a bit confused as well.
Throw it in someone's eyes.
Yeah. Dust cloud.
We use rust to make ink sometimes, so maybe if we get stuck here for even longer, then he kind of shrugs.
Let's hope we don't, Ilkaas. Yeah. So, do you want me to do a check for looking for traps, Liz?
You certainly can do, yeah. Roll a perception check for me.
With guidance.
A 19, yeah. Farrah, you as you push further into the forest and your eyes now more keenly looking for any sign of anything, you do spot a number of different, like, almost like leaf coverings for what look like hunting traps throughout this forest. It seems like perhaps this is probably a well-frequented area of wolves. So you get the impression, based off that perception check, I'd say you could probably spot a number of wolf tracks throughout this area. And the further you move in, eventually, as you're searching through and keeping your eyes out, in the very distance, you do actually spot what looks like a deer that's caught its leg in one of these traps and is kind of just laying there, almost like defeated. It occasionally lets out like a very low kind of like.
Ilkaas would be like, they said they went hunting, maybe we could bring back something a bit bigger to help them along.
They did. I'm sure they're having luck with wolves. There seems to be plenty of tracks, but yeah, we should put this poor soul out of its misery, I assume. No, we're just trying to get closer to it, I guess.
Yeah, and as you get closer, can you both roll stealth checks for me?
Yeah.
Let me just check something. Okay, Farrah, you carefully and tiptoe up. But Ilkaas, you're not quite as practiced with stealth as Farrah is. And as you do, the rustling sort of beneath your feet, and you occasionally, with your quite large dragonborn feet, kind of cracks a twig or two under it. And you see this sort of deer begin to turn towards you. And Farrah, as you get closer, I imagine you're probably much closer sneaking up towards this creature. And suddenly it turns around and you see that its eye sockets are completely hollow. And it begins just sort of lashing out at you as it does. It's going to try and attack you.
Can Ilkaas see this?
Yes, he certainly can.
He's going to kind of cold it.
Okay, let's quickly roll initiative then, just you three.
Okay. Put my thing just for.
Yeah, you don't need to click on it or anything. Holy shit! 25.18. Okay. So, Ilkaas. 19. And dear. Got a respectable 11. Right, so yeah, Farrah and Ilkaas, you'd both be up first. You can. This is not like a proper combat, but you can take your turns together essentially if you want to.
I think as an immediate reaction, Farrah would just sort of like, what's the word? Jump back a bit. Just as a reaction. Just be surprised. Is it like attached to the floor with the chain of the trap, or is it?
You can see that the hunting trap is like it looks heavy, like it's heavy like iron, and the this deer like can't move, but is like lashing out of you with its like teeth, and it's like trying to like bite at you and just like kick in your direction. You can see with its completely like hollowed out eye sockets, it it looks withered, and you can see as its jaw kind of moves around, it kind of like almost flops like left and right as if it's not quite attached properly.
Okay. Yeah. I think she probably had it out already to try and swiftly kill it. So we'll try and do a Symmetra Attack on it.
Okay, so I imagine like Farrah kind of falls backwards, startled, because it's quite a not seen anything like this before, and it does sort of catch you off guard. But you manage to sort of reach for your scimitar at your belt, and you just sort of pull it upwards in a striking moment. Make an attack roll for me.
Oh, I got a moon rapier. I forgot about that. I'll use that.
Okay. Yeah, and you do manage to connect as you manage to take a chunk into it.
Nice.
Maths is hard. Much. Ilkaas, how does he react?
It's still jumpy from the bear trap. And he's like, "Oh, creepy deer!" And kind of colds it if Farrah isn't in the way.
Okay, is it a dex save for Code of Cold or Con?
It's a con.
Okay, let me roll the con save for it then. Might not matter much. It's a 6. Roll your damage on your Cone of Cold. Describe to me like how Ilkaas blasts this cone of energy forward.
He does it with his left hand, and he's like just like covering his eyes, and he's like, "Oh, creepy deer!"
And Farrah, you just like almost like just Farrah, make a dexterity saving throw for me. Actually,
Yeah.
I said if she wasn't in the way.
yeah, she's not like properly in the way. It's not going to damage her or anything.
Oh, right.
But just yeah, you like you're at the very edge, I imagine, of this cold blast. And you're kind of just like, oh shit, and you like instinctively like roll out the way, and then you just get like you just see this blast, and you can see the trees behind it, and the ground is all just getting like covered in frostbite as Ilkaas is just like channeling this cone of cold for like it seems like almost minutes, and he's just sort of like holding it there for like a few seconds in reality, but it feels so long, and then suddenly you just sort of like open your eyes briefly, and Ilkaas, you kind of like blink from the cold that's just kind of just being sort of almost the blast back just sort of hitting you in the face slightly, and you sort of blink forwards, and you just see in front of you, Farrah and Ilkaas, there's just this like almost like perfectly preserved body, like Jack Nicholson in The Shining, just like sitting there of this zombified deer that is just sitting there.
When it's dead, Ilkaas is like, "Is it dead?"
She like looks at it and she's a rapier, and she's just like, "It's well preserved, I would say, Ilkaas."
Does that mean refrigerated?
For now.
Maybe we can get it back to the others. Well, actually, it didn't have any eyes. Maybe it's weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable eating that. Hopefully they found something else.
Okay.
Well, looks like we're not finding any herbs in that particular area.
However, after about an hour, you do manage to carefully avoid any more traps, and there's no sign of any more zombified deers, and you do manage to collect a nice, decent handful of herbs. I'd say, based on how cool your role-playing stuff was there, you both get a point of inspiration.
Oh,
And
yeah. Already have. Damn it.
well, I'll say instead then that you get enough herbs to craft a potion of healing.
Yes. Now I just need 8 hours.
Yeah. Okay, so you reconvene back at the camp after an hour with Nigel and Cal bring back a large wolf carcass that, as by the time Ilkaas and Farrah arrive back, they're already starting to prepare to skin, and I imagine Cal may be showing Nigel how to sort of do these things properly.
Yep, absolutely.
and you arrive back, and sort of Meadhan is just, I imagine, resting as much as he can, considering. And
Little nips.
but as you're sort of resting back on your bedroll, Meadhan, you do sort of take in the scent of like a delicious kind of scent as Cal and Nigel are cooking this, almost like imagine this sort of wolf steak over a campfire, and then Farrah and Ilkaas, you both arrive back, and with your herbs, in fact, you realise that you've got plenty to create a potion of healing, but you've also got like a couple of leftover herbs and stuff that maybe isn't like particularly useful for like that kind of thing, but you think actually they would be damn nice to flavour a bit of wolf steak right now. So with your combined efforts, you managed to put together a fine dinner.
Get that sage and thyme on there.
I'll say, can Cal and Nigel both roll me wisdom checks, and if you're proficient with cook's utensils, you can add your proficiency bonus. And I'll say also, Cal and Ilkaas and Farrah can also roll a d4 to see if they can improve the meal with their herb collecting.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, so
Tasty meal.
Ilkaas is like, I've never eaten before, and just dumps loads of herbs onto it.
So 14 plus 13 is 27. Okay, well with that then, you actually managed to make, together with your combined efforts, you managed to put together a very hearty meal, considering your surroundings. Cal using his knowledge as a hunter throughout the Barovian woods, and Nigel putting a bit of Nigel magic in there. I imagine a bit of wild magic, sparks perhaps, and then Farrah and Ilkaas both using the herbs they collected to put together a fine meal. And you sit around the campfire, each partaking, keeping a keen eye and a keen ear out at all times, as you do within this land. But the moment is nice in a way.
Yeah. Kind of.
What was that? You broke up for me for a second.
Just yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say anything to each other during this time, during this meal, or?
Probably mention. Well, we'll do the lighthearted stuff first, and then she'll mention other stuff.
I think Cal, throughout the process, would have been talking to Nigel about, well, you seem to have a good hunter's instinct, Nigel.
Yes, I like meat.
You hunted much before? Did you train?
I actually would have done.
I think
Yes,
I think Nigel being the son of a nobleman, like that's a pretty probably I can imagine your father would have taken you, probably been a bit awkward. Like I imagine they're all on smaller horses compared to your fucking massive
I imagine it looking like he's on a Shetland pony.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. They definitely I think would have taken you hunting, and also your Goliath tribe they hunt to survive.
What I'm thinking, yeah. So yes, I spent 6 months of the year with my father, so I learn shooting and hunting birds and things. And then other 6 months with my mother, and I learned traditional hunting.
Well, it shows. I can speak somewhat to what it's like to be from two different worlds, though having a split year, jumping back and forth, I can imagine was tough at times, fun at others. god, I killed him!
There, Anja? I think you might have actually killed Anja.
What was in that steak? Oh god.
And Ilkaas brought back some nightshade.
What do you mean you're not meant to use the leaves of dead potato?
I assume Anja might have disconnected or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, in that case, we will cut to anyone else who wants to have a moment around the campfire.
Farrah might check on Meadhan. It's been a bit tired the last couple of days.
If we've just had a hearty meal, he'll then be like kind of dipping in and out of consciousness. Food coma. It's like,
Oh, yeah. You're looking a little bit more comfortable after that meal, Meadhan?
Oh, I haven't had anything that tasty in a good while.
Yeah, hopefully we can maybe find more along the way. Have another one.
Just a damn shame that we have to. Well, I wouldn't give to just settle down right about now.
Yeah, go to a tavern, have it cooked for you.
Oh. It's been too long. I wasn't born for this much adventuring and fighting and such close shaves with death. How do you do it?
I don't know. This is certainly different to what we were doing before, but yeah, it still involved killing and fighting. But
Thought this was your job, full-time job, right?
well, dark forces, Amber Temple. This is a bit beyond my job.
Glad I'm not the only one then.
Well, how about you though? If we do make it out of here, what do you plan on doing?
Forgetting any of this ever happened, if I can.
He nods. Yeah, I know the feeling. Will you go back to playing music? You're pretty good.
I can do. I don't quite do it the same I used to. The sparks sort of fading a little. There's too much anger, too much fighting, too much loss.
Yeah. She looks around. I think this place will have changed all of us. Well, maybe except Ilkaas.
I just need to get somewhere familiar.
I hope we all get out of here. That's all I can say for now. Do you have any ideas for any new songs? Or has it begun?
Is there a song we've yet to play there? I feel like there is.
Let's have a look.
New songs from me.
I
can't remember how many sent. Was it 3? 4?
I believe there is a battle tune we have not played.
Ah, shit. If we played all the good ones, let's crack out a battle one.
Is it going to turn out Meadhan turns into Neil Peart after this?
I hope that's the case. But you hear Meadhan begin to beat against his drum.
I don't remember this at all.
It's very good, Meadhan. I hope to hear it before before the final. Right.
It's not like it's not the usual stuff. This place isn't exactly inspiring, you know.
No, but perhaps you can be the inspiration to all of us. I think we might need it. But yeah, anyway, let's just enjoy, for now, this meal of wolf, which is not a normal meal that we've tend to have in Faerun, right?
No.
A little
I've
bit
eaten
chewier
worse.
than I like.
Okay, so as you all sit around the campfire, enjoying your meals, you can all take the benefit of another long rest.
Yeah. I would probably have started talking about more serious stuff, like, do we want to go to the kill all the hags? They kill children.
Oh.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why she's mentioning the hag.
Was Meadhan even around for that?
Nope.
I don't think it was, no.
Yeah.
It's literally just
It's
You
fair,
bring it up,
Nigel.
we're all just like, nope.
I think the only person who would be aware of them would be, I think, Cal would definitely be aware that of their existence. I think with the amount of time he's lived here and the amount of sleuthing he's done.
He'd say, it's impressive you came across them and lived to tell the tale.
We didn't exactly go in. We were pre-warned, thankfully, by... I can't remember her name now. What's her face?
Muriel.
Raven girl. Muriel. Hasn't met Muriel.
Yeah, it was Muriel. Yeah.
So
That
we didn't
explains
go in.
it.
Yeah. I was just thinking... Do hags normally have, like, stuff? Magic stuff?
Do a nature check for me.
And more like a nearby safe haven if we needed to go in. It requires, danger.
12. It's hard to say exactly. Hags are mostly known from what you know. Farrah, I think with your background, you probably have a decent idea enough of them. You know that in general they're just pretty unpredictable. Like some hags might collect like strange trinkets and kind of fetishes. They might have some strange magical artifacts, but they're probably not like hoarding. They're not the type to hoard like gold or weapons so much like dragons might. In general, you just, like with the 12, I think you just know that they're master manipulators at the end of the day. They are known for making deals.
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling like taking a dark bargain, then they're probably right up your list. Hags are just generally very dangerous. Yeah, you don't want to mess with them.
We're pretty high level, you can beat them up. But yeah,
like...
it's alright. It's more like because it's an area we can go to that's nearby, or nearer by anyway.
I feel like we're standing on a precipice of everyone escaping, and maybe we have the power to actually challenge him at Ravenloft now. Do we really want to put that off any longer? Don't you all want to go home?
We do. It was just a suggestion. I think we'll need somewhere to stay, and I don't think Barovia Village is going to be of much help. But I'm sure we can find somewhere nearby. Otherwise...
Is there anyone you'd name your ally that you wish to inform before we push for Ravenloft?
Are we not going to the Argynvost'Ra first.
So you know that currently that most of your allies are staying at Argynvost'Ra. So you know Van Richten's there, you know Ezmerelda's there, you know Davian and the remainder of the Marticle family are there.
I suppose we don't need to go up there. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Could do, but it's probably the safest place to stop before.
I guess more comment like because he doesn't know everything you've done.
Yes, of course.
Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else that we should be contacting, or is it just first stop Argynvost'Ra, second stop Ravenloft?
Oh, I see. Definitely.
He'll get the finishing blow.
There's only people in the Argynvost'Ra, and well, I'm curious about the elk guy, but we don't know where he is, so
Nope.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think we know anyone else. Do we? Or am I forgetting people?
I don't think so.
Oh, the abbot.
The dead guy.
Well, then it's just Argynvost'Ra and on to Ravenloft.
And she wants to put the gem in the place, but I think that's on the way anyway. So
I was wondering whether or not all of those readings we got from the lady, were there any that we hadn't reached or fulfilled or found or anything?
I'll say now you have essentially fulfilled all of them.
Oh, damn.
You recovered. I'll get the list up for you just so.
What was that?
It's in player something. Add Eve's readings. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. I see a dead village drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into the world. And you recovered the Tome of Strahd from when you defeated the evil hag, Babylon's Saga. Secondly, you have the card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. As I see a nest of ravens, there you will find a prize, but we all know what happened to that one. Thank you, Mr. Neville Daggerson. And finally, you have, this is a card of strength and power. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. Which, definitely. And then finally, the card will shed light on one who will help greatly in battle, which is the entertaining man with a monkey. Man is more than he seems, which is Van Richten.
Exactly, Blinsky. Let's go get him.
He's a greater old one warlock.
He better be. He's got loads of those new gnome races, and he can put those out.
That's a great idea.
He's made a little gnome version of each of the original Iron Oath to come with us.
They put a stat block for in Van Richten's guide for carrionettes. They're called. They're basically like living dolls.
Cool.
So I could have loads of them. Go my minions.
Hang on, let me just look at. So what's the route? We're going this way, going down. Which way is the way to Argynvost'Ra again? Down here.
It is here.
Oh yeah.
So it'll take you in about another half a day to get there.
Okay. I thought it was over here for some reason. Yeah. Okay, so then we go back down.
It'll take about 6 hours to get there.
And then we go across here, and then the monuments for the gem are over here somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, here. I will take them off the gym there.
Cool. Yeah, so they're on the way. That's the only other major thing that Farrah wants to do. I think it'll help. Would like to find the blue one.
But at this point, I think I can also reveal the road path to you.
What, is this it, the red line?
Yes.
Not that red line.
Oh. I was like... Yeah.
Fly.
I suppose you could, technically.
It's not very, well, I guess it... yeah, true.
Probably take just as long as you have to stop and rest constantly.
Fly's only 10 minutes, Fiddle. That's right.
I more meant
You
with,
can fly on eagles, though.
I meant like summoning giant eagles. Right,
Fly
so
over some of the harder bits, like
all
the
the
hills.
spells.
yeah, you could. You technically
Yeah.
could. So, if you are heading to Argynvost'Ra, could someone please roll me a d12 and a d8?
Who hasn't done it yet?
Yeah.
Kieran beat you.
He couldn't help himself.
Okay, so you continue heading down the path, and eventually you come across, in the distance you see a number of you hear, for the first thing you hear like a number of voices kind of talking as you come to sort of the crossroads sort of up here, and it's like in the distance you hear a number of kind of almost like jovial voices, and you're kind of caught off guard for a moment. Can anyone do a perception check for me? Okay, Cal. In the distance, you see a number of barrel-topped wagons, and you see men, women, and children, probably upwards of 10 to 15, like in immediate sight. You can see some of them are sitting atop the wagons themselves. Others are walking alongside. You can see children sitting alongside their family as these wagons begin to creak through on the sort of hard dirt path, and sort of look like they're heading in a westerly direction.
Do they look like Vistani?
They do indeed, yeah. They look like they're inbound to begin to cross your path. How do you guys react?
Are they the ones we recognise from the camp?
Do a perception check for yourself, Farrah, because... So the 12. I think Farrah would recognise a few of them.
Okay.
I think she'd probably recognise at the front, the only one she'd remember off the top of her head, because it's been a while. It's been nearly a month, I think, since this happened, and you only met them briefly. I think you do remember, though, there was a Vistani man called Araja who kind of introduced you to the other Vistani at the camp.
Oh, he's a ginger, wasn't he?
He was the what?
Ginger. He had a bandana on.
Quite possibly. Let me have a look. Yes, that's correct, Kieran. Well done.
So they're coming towards us.
How the fuck do you remember that detail? That's so...
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
weird.
Yeah, even I didn't remember that.
Because Raja reminds me of Tiger and he was orange.
Clever. Cool. Yeah, they are heading directly in your direction. They don't seem to have spotted you currently. I imagine you're probably more off to the side of the road.
Should probably hail them. She remembers they're friendly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as you walking up, you see they kind of he kind of holds up a hand to slow down, and kind of then looks over, and he kind of does like a double take almost, and he's like, do I know you?
No.
Maybe you don't remember me. I don't know if... Well, he's probably not met anyone else, right?
I do not,
Nigel?
I certainly remember him, and he kind of points to Nigel and says, I'm sorry, I forget your names. You, stopped by Serpool, if I'm not mistaken.
Please tell me that is the character I think it is.
It is, the guy at Serpool encampment, the guy that introduced you. Who did you think it was?
I thought it was Blinsky, and I got mixed up.
Blinsky. Hello, boys and girls, it's me, Blinsky. Oh, no, he's not.
It's not fun.
It's not Blinsky.
Sounds like his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Hello, remember to like, like and subscribe. Thank you.
Remember to
Remember-
buy lots of pretty toys for little children, girl and boy. He kind of looks and he kind of points to you, Nigel, and then looks to you, Farrah, and he says, you have a lot of new friends. And then he kind of looks over to Cal. Cal, can you do a quick insight check for me?
Of course.
Mhm.
In this point, Nigel would say, "Well, all the others are now dead, so."
Yeah, Cal, you're not sure. He seems to just be eyeing you. That's all you notice.
Mhm.
How does he react to what Nigel says?
He kind of frowns slightly, and he just says, "I am very sorry to hear that. You seemed you had close friends nearby. Well, are you whereabouts are you journeying to?"
Mhm. Should we tell him? I don't think we should.
We're up to see.
Just to wherever we can, just
Well, do a deception check with
camping around.
disadvantage.
Like,
We're going to wherever we can.
Could have just
Could've
said
said
Barovia
Valak.
Village. There we go. We're going there. Barovia Village.
Right, disadvantage deception check. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems fair enough to me. Well, you certainly keep some colourful friends. As he keeps his eyes fixed on Cal while he says that. And he says,
Certainly.
"Is there anything? We've got plenty of food and drink, and anything of that sort if you need it."
Do we need food? I mean, we did. We just went hunting. Do we get a lot?
You got about 5 rations, I think, in total.
But either way, we don't have any money, do we? So,
I only charge you a small fee for old friends. Yes.
Ilkaas is like, "I've got some money in my sack."
Ah, this one here. This one has a sack as well. A fancy nobleman.
I was not expecting Ilkaas to be
Ilkaas
like,
is going to be like, "Well, how much is one?" He looks around. Feed.
We could spare some dried meats and stuff. Let us say a silver piece.
Sure.
Ah,
Like
fantastic.
rustle around,
He sort of-
flick it.
he chucks over 3 rations to you.
Give them to whoever's looking after him.
cool.
And he'd be like, "So, you're heading west. What's out there?"
Ah, well, we are planning to head beyond the mists.
Cool.
It is time that we must be on our way. You see, there are many other places between the mists and beyond where we may be needed.
Well, you have
something
fun.
change? Yeah.
What was that, Farrah?
Did something change or something come up? Or...
No, we Vistani are often on the move. Serpul was simply a short stay for us.
Okay.
We will be back in Barovia, I imagine. Perhaps we will see you.
Maybe.
I hope not.
He kind of smiles and says, "Well, a good day to you, and have fun traveling to wherever you're going." And he kind of signals the horses and the carts to go on, and you see kind of a few of the children kind of look on, and you actually see like more colourful characters amongst them this time. You see like there is a small tiefling child. You see that there is a what looks like a lot of half-elven sort of children and sort of young, like teenagers, and seems to be quite a lot of sort of the new folks seem quite young. Definitely a more colourful cast of characters this time amongst them.
And they're going west.
Yes, they're heading in a
Upwards.
westerly direction. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
We learnt before that the Stani can come and go as they want, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just, the timing of it.
Yeah. They're probably
Okay.
leaving because something bad's going to happen.
Yeah. Potentially.
Perhaps.
Or to get stuff to help kill us. You never know.
Well, they're gonna have to be quick if that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's
They
true.
certainly don't look like they're combatant types. They just look like men, women, and children.
Oh no, yeah, not themselves. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So, you part ways with the Stani, who make their way across the land westward.
Mhm.
And eventually, after a long day of travel through the woods, the beacon of Argynvost'Ra on the hill becomes brighter and brighter the closer you get. Is there anything any of you would do in this time? Anything you'd say to each other before you arrive?
Ilkaas would just be like, they better not have messed it up.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so eventually you climb to the top of the hill after a long, grueling journey from the top of Mount Gakis all the way back to Argynvost'Ra.
Did we tell the elves, Casimir's group, about this place? I can't remember.
Yes, you told them to
Yeah.
bring your companions here. That's what Casimir asked them to do. They shepherd them
Gosh, we
here.
have fun conversation.
Mhm.
Your leader went mad and we had to put him down.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Pick a different song. Let's go with... Just stick with the travel music for now. Actually, no. Let's pick something else. Oh, I know what. Yeah. Okay. So, as you climb the hill, the site of Ilkaas's father's mansion, now his mansion, I suppose,
Yeah.
lies in a beacon of light ahead of you. The statue of his father, evident in front.
Ilkaas is going to run up to a statue and he's going to be like, look what I got! And he's going to like do a few moves with the ice staff.
And the statue just stares out ominously.
And he's like, I know you thought it'd be cool.
That's incredibly sad, holy fuck. As you do run up though, can anyone who wants to roll a perception check for me? Okay. All of you notice as skirting around this beacon of light, which is still just completely illuminating the area. Even the clouds around it are still dim, but it's still impressive how bright it is. Almost like stepping through a barrier into another world, almost. But as you're coming close to follow Ilkaas and pass into the light, the rest of you see is this small bat, just a lone bat, kind of glides down in your direction, and then just lands, like perched, sort of on the ground in front of you.
Does it look like the same one that when we first came here?
It's
When we
Outside
walked
in the
into a
middle.
room and we scared it. It was inside of a cauldron?
Do
Let it
a
out.
perception check.
Oh,
It's very hard to
Good to
tell.
know.
It looks like a
Bat to bat, isn't
It
it?
looks like a bat, yeah. But perhaps it's not outside the realm of possibility. The bat itself lands there for a moment and kind of just stares at you directly before its body begins to walk forward and gradually turns into mist. And then, as the mist kind of fogs the ground in front of you, it begins to change, and as you see before you, you see a letter that is stamped with a wax seal bearing the symbol of Castle Ravenloft.
Oh. Who's gonna pick it up?
I'll pick it up.
Okay, as you do you open it?
Yep.
Okay, I'll reveal to you then. If you'd like to read it aloud for me.
Should have destroyed it.
To the guests of my domain, try as I might, my endeavors to keep you at bay have proven fruitless. You have been and remain persistent in your efforts to depose me. Let us waste no more time then. I will send no further obstacles on your journey to Castle Ravenloft. If I have learned anything in this long life of mine, it is this. In love, we find out who we want to be. In war, we find out who we are. So, come. Come and see who you truly are. I shall be waiting. Signed, Strahd von Zizzle.
He sounds confident in his challenge.
Maybe we shouldn't go, just so he doesn't get one up on us.
Sounds like a trap.
Sounds like he underestimates us to me.
Every challenger wants to look confident before the war begins.
Maybe we
Pride
should,
comes before a fall, Farrah. Don't let him fool you.
maybe we should send him a letter to come here.
He doesn't fool me, Nigel. But we need to go there. This challenge means nothing, really.
As long as we don't stop acting with caution, because I don't want to assume he is a man of his word.
No, he's simply a monster, Nigel. But
Yes, a very scary, very strong monster.
we are also strong, Nigel.
Not
think we
that
can do it.
strong.
You're the strongest person I know, Nigel. Look at those muscles.
Yes, but I am also squishy.
Not squishy, my Nigel. If you were squishy, then you'd be squashed by, and she jumps on him as a bear.
And Nigel's just, ah!
Lifts her up with one hand.
Even after Farrah turns back, he'd be there like,
See, Nigel?
And as you enter the beacon of light, you begin to see the front doors to the manor. You hear them creak open, and standing in the entranceway is some familiar figures. As you spot Rudolph van Richten, accompanied by his apprentice and protege, who George will now be playing, Ezmerelda.
Yeah.
And not far behind them, you see there is Davian, Muriel, Adrian, Dag, and the Martikov children, who look weary, but upon seeing Meadhan, the children cannot contain themselves and run forward to greet him.
Yeah, man. Meadhan drops his hammer and just makes his way over to them.
Yeah, and
Arms outstretched.
they don't even say anything as they just rush forward and just sort of jump up and embrace you in a hug. And Van Richten begins to step forward and says, "Well, that took you long enough. Glad to see you're back, though. Where is looks around.
Yeah, Farrah would just shake her head.
I am sorry.
And Casimir as well. She nods towards the elves who I assume are also looking out.
The elves are not here.
Oh, they're not here. Okay. Where they gone?
Barrington would say, the Dusk Elves were kind enough to lead us here, and they went on their way back to the Vistani camp to not draw any further suspicion.
Yeah. Suspicion may come upon them anyway.
Quite.
But I think Strahd's got other things on his mind right now.
Yes, we have more pressing matters to attend to.
Did you have any trouble here with the attacks or anything? Or was the beacon sufficient?
He looks around and he says, the beacon is most impressive. Von Zarevich did send some hordes of creatures. However, they simply stalked the edges of the light before retreating into the darkness. Much like most monsters.
Certainly.
I've made sure your mansion is kept in good condition, Dragonborn. Looks to you, Ilkaas.
It's Ilkaas, Mr. Man.
Van Richten. Rudolph.
Okay, Rudolph. I'm Ilkaas.
Good to properly get the introductions. I would say come in, but it is your mansion, is it not?
Yes, if everyone would like to proceed inside, I assume you have prepared for our arrival.
I have. I have prepared beds, and there is what food I could muster. However, your guard Drake has been a little feisty.
There's a reason he's a guard Drake, Rudolph.
Quite. However, I have a creature of my own. He seems to enjoy.
Oh, are they friends?
Well, take a look for yourself, and you see, as you look inside the doors, Ilkaas, you see, running from the top of the stairs, you see the huge form of the saber-toothed tiger of Ravi just, sprinting down the stairs, being chased by Vlad, who's just, got his tongue out, and is just, saliva going everywhere, trying to catch him.
Oh, Ilkaas,
oh my God.
points his stuff at Vlad, and he's like, you calm it down, Vlad. We don't want to get with carpet dirty.
He kind of screeches to a halt as he sees you, and then kind of just wanders forward, almost like he's a bit ashamed.
I thought you were going to say they were going to come around the corner with half Vlad, half Ravi babies.
Oh God, no!
Like in Shrek with the donkey.
Oh God, no!
It's gonna be like you and your friend. You go and play outside and can scare off the things stalking around as well.
He kind of just sort of looks up at you and then just kind of scuttles along the floor back towards Ravi, who's kind of looking back at him in the doorway, and then just kind of sprints off to sort of the chapel area of the mansion.
Yeah, he does a little thing with his hand where he strokes him with the coldness as he goes past.
Yeah. You can see that in the foyer of the mansion, Van Richten has set up a number of sort of supplies, and it looks like he's set up bed rolls and sort of medical care as well, and anything for the kids and stuff as well.
Well set up, Rudolph. Perhaps we should go inside. I'm kind of sick of the mist, staring at it anyway.
Quite. He also has set up like a table in the centre, which looks almost like a war table.
Ilkaas just gonna be like, so he's coming to Castle Ravenloft with us.
I will be joining you. It would not be right if I was not there to try and kill a bloody vampire such as von Zarevich. I've got one more fucking mission left in me, and he kind of pulls out a big bottle of wine. He's like, I found this upstairs, do you mind?
Not at all.
And he kind of takes a big swig out of it.
What's the year on it?
He kind of looks it over and then he says, it's not marked actually, I'm not even sure if it's wine.
Well, go ahead.
Down the hatch.
Yeah.
Well, as much as I don't want to do it, but perhaps we should come up with a battle plan inside. This war table's impressive, Rudolph.
I do what I
She's got like
can.
little bits on there and stuff.
I hope you all realise, though, that tackling a vampire of von Zarevich's strength head-on is a suicide mission at best.
Yeah, and there's the matter of the heart that I remember.
That's what I said too, but nobody listened to me.
Yes, if the Martikovs, and he kind of looks over to Davy and he's just like, and kind of like coughs slightly. He's like, it is in the upper spires of the tower.
That is a useful piece of information that we could use. We need to figure out how to deal with it, what it really is, stuff like that.
Quite, I think that will be our first course of action inside.
I think so. And if we can find maybe it's a long shot, but the amulet, I think the only one that would remember the amulet is Nigel.
Ben Rickton would as well.
Yeah.
Quite. To be honest, if this was my strategy, I think I'd be trying to pull off some ridiculous plan of guerrilla warfare, trying to wear Strahd von Zarevich down for years and years. Kind of looks to Cal and says, something like you've been trying to do. But
mine was more a matter of survival than
of course.
warfare.
That's a good point, though. Perhaps we should pool our information. I don't think I've asked you much about how you defeated Strahd before, Cal.
Desperation, mostly. Luck, timing. We kind of burst through. We didn't search or look for anything else. The more I think on it, the more I think he allowed us through to prove a point.
Well, this time will be different. We have more information, I think, than you had before. She looks at him kind of questionably.
I had no idea about the heart before. That has to be everything. We need to discuss who's going to be conducting. Well, we need a whole plan for how we're going to get to see this ritual through.
Yes, we do. And also, what was I going to say? Do we actually know what the heart is? Like, inside? We just know it's like a... What do we know about it?
From the Markovs has told you, it's like a literal beating heart in the tower.
Oh, okay.
And they
Like the size of one as well? Or just literally
no,
like a massive...
It's fucking huge.
Okay, massive heart.
Yeah. As far as the Markovs are aware, they think it's somehow linked to, like, it empowers him. They're not sure exactly how, but...
Oh, that's a whole different thing. Fuck!
What were
Is
you
that a whole
thinking?
different thing?
What?
Destroy the heart.
because he's got his tomb that he revives from, right, or whatever.
Yeah, precisely.
And then the heart is a different thing.
Precisely, yeah.
Yeah, so many things.
Get the heart, get the
You
tomb,
got-
in and out.
Get a crystal, get out.
it out.
Yeah.
Easy.
Destroy the heart, which we know is in a spire, right? Like this one.
Yes.
So we can. So do we know if there's windows on it? Can we bash through?
I mean, possibly.
Does-
Davian would tell you that there doesn't seem to be any windows to the spire, but there is a bridge that connects between two of the different spires. There's multiple spires, but the one he would describe as being one of the more central ones.
Does it have a wall? Like the whole place, does it have a wall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume that if we... No, you're not going to tell me until we get there because I can't see it, but I assume that if we get there and I could just... If we land on the roof like that, for example...
Something you could certainly try and do.
Stone shape in, make a door, stone shape in, drop in on the heart, do some necrotic damage, there you go.
Something you could certainly try and do.
Bob's your uncle. Yeah, well, that's one plan.
Sounds like something we can try and do and probably fail.
Probably. Well, we'll see. What's the other thing? Something else. Ritual. Heart. Got to find the tomb.
There were
How
his
find the tomb.
whatevers, the guys who were outside the beacon before. You have to assume we're going to come into contact with them at some point.
That's true.
So then the next question is, if we're not going to be able to do everything in one go, how are we going to rest or whatever in Ravenloft?
I think we're not going to be able to. I think this is going to be a multiple trip issue.
You think he'll let us leave?
Yep. More than he will let us stay.
Why would he let us leave?
Why would he let us stay? We can
'Cause he'd
discover
kill
more
us.
shit about him.
But if you don't think we're up to doing everything in one go, and we're trying to leave with our resources depleted and everything, surely if you're Strahd von Zarovich, you're just like, sweet, now's the time when I kill them all.
But I don't think he wants that though. Judging by the letter, he wants a proper fight.
Do an insight check for me, Cal.
Seven.
All I'll say from that is that what you know of Strahd von Zarovich is that tends to be a man of his word, although sometimes that takes twisted truths. I'd also say that
All the letter says is there's no obstacles on the way to Ravenloft. So there's nothing about in Ravenloft.
Yeah, if you come out and then go out, there might be obstacles in the way when you go back.
And it's all very nice being like, I'm a nobleman, here's my letter now. But if I'm there and someone stabs my big heart up and I'm weakened by it, I'm not going to be like, well, I best wait around while they go and recuperate.
I will say, based off the fact, I think Cal is the most familiar with Strahd. Based off his backstory, I will say that Cal, the things, and I think for the fact you've all seen the Tome of Strahd and you've all got like a understanding of who he is. Strahd is the type of person who is going to play with his food. He is incredibly arrogant to the point where,
what a naughty boy.
in Strahd's mind, let me put it this way. In Strahd's mind, I think Cal is smart enough to know that Strahd doesn't think he can lose. He thinks it's an impossibility that he can lose. And
so why would he care if we're going in and out? That's what I get from that.
But you don't know that.
No, I don't
Either
know
way.
that.
But all I'll say is just that's all the information I will reveal. You can just interpret that how you wish. It just gives you I just want to give you a clear idea.
It also feels like he's like, oh, they didn't do the first go. Guess they're not going to do it. Might as well kill them. Wait for the next lot.
Possibly.
Maybe. I think it's dependent on how dangerous the castle is. And if we're going to have some penalty for sleeping in there, like with Amber Temple. But if we do, I don't think we can go in with those disabilities to it.
It's difficult because you don't know whether he will let you leave at all.
No.
And I think it's not a wrong assumption, or it's not a stupid assumption to make that he won't let you leave.
No, it's not. This is just my opinion, what I gather from.
Yeah. So if you are going to rest inside, what is a good way to rest, do you think?
Yeah, that's more what Kat was getting at.
Yeah.
To see if the Markovs knew anything, or if anyone had any magical ability to make an impenetrable dome. That would be pretty useful right now.
Let's have a look if Van Richten has anything like that. I don't think he does, though. Yeah, losing pitch. Let's agree with that.
It's time to cast Davy's Tiny Hut.
Davy's Tiny Jugs.
Interesting. Van Richten has something that he would explain. However, it's risky, and he would say that he only has enough to cast it once in terms of material. He has enough holy water to cast Magic Circle once, which would only last an hour.
Immediate.
It creates a 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder of magical energy centered on the point in the ground, which you can see within range. Glowing runes appear wherever the cylinder intersects with the floor or other surface. And you can choose one of the more of the following types of creatures: Celestials, Elementals, Fays, Fiends, or Undead. The circle affects a creature of the chosen type in the following ways. A creature can't willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or interplanar travel to do so, it must first succeed on a charisma saving throw. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. Targets within the cylinder can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature. When you cast a spell, you can elect to cause its magic to operate in the reverse direction, preventing a creature of the specific type from leaving the cylinder. It does take 1 minute to cast.
Yeah, it doesn't last long enough, really. Maybe a short rest.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, something. I haven't got anything.
What about the question of the ritual itself? Perhaps we should stick to questions we can answer.
I think either Cal or Ilkaas, because Farrah's got a lot of concentration spells as it is. So it means
We've got the beefy con saves.
And you've got the beefy con saves.
Van Richten would,
Yes.
I mean, he can't really tell you this exactly, but I will tell you that Van Richten, because he is your fated ally, he has a special ability when in combat with Strahd, where he can grant you inspiration as a free action on his turn.
Nice.
Could be helpful.
So
my thought was that Ilkaas would do it because I kind of want Cal swinging the sun sword freely.
yeah.
I mean, I can swing the sun sword whilst concentrating on a thing, but
You
and
also,
then
Yeah,
I
I
would
think-
you also
cast,
have to have one hand free, I will say that much.
and I would be casting. I would have warding bond on Ilkaas.
Okay.
That's why I gave him the platinum ring.
The only thing is that he might be like Ilkaas might be focused down if he's doing a ritual, so does it need more people, I think, than just the spell? Or can you put him in the dome, Lewis? In what you just said that lasts for an hour?
Could, but it costs a minute to cast.
Minute to cast.
So,
Ilkaas, whoever gets it will be concentrated down, probably.
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
safe to assume.
Ilkaas has 78 HP and a +8 con save.
Yeah, as long as Cal's
Yeah.
next to Ilkaas, they have the same con save. And if I'm tanking half the damage, he's got my health pool as well. Or he's essentially got double his health
Yeah,
pool.
It's a good idea.
and then we can all try and keep him far away, or
We've also got Meadhan.
yeah, you can still
give
cast spells and
resistance.
stuff.
Yeah, most of
resistance.
Ilkaas stuff isn't concentration anyway.
Okay, good. That's good.
I've got a concentration spell I really want to use.
Yeah. I need to use pretty much all my good spells are concentration.
Can we attach the sun sword to the flying sword?
Gray,
That might-
go back to Farrah. You're not playing till tomorrow.
No one invited you.
I don't think anyone else can do the ritual. I think that's it, really, isn't it? Because it has to be a spellcaster, right?
No, it doesn't have to be a spellcaster.
Okay. Should we have multiple people doing it then? Like the people that don't need to concentrate on a spell? Meadhan could just be saying it in the background. So if Ilkaas does
it
lose
requires
concentration,
like complex verbal and somatic components. So,
Can you say
Oh,
something
so can
kind
you
of
cast-
arcane advantage or something?
so let me get it open for you so it reads you exactly.
Can you concentrate on a spell when you're raging?
No.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, damn it.
So the Ritual of Amber, it requires you to conduct it within the anchor point of the realm in which the champion of the Dark Powers dwells. It requires complex verbal and somatic components in order to be completed, and so requires a great deal of concentration. When a player chooses to conduct this ritual, they must speak each of the lines on their turn. One line per turn, and are considered to be concentrating on it as if they were concentrating on a spell. The book which the ritual is held within requires one hand to hold. However, other non-concentration spells without verbal components can still be cast.
Okay.
Concentration is ever broken, the ritual must be begun anew.
And it
Wait.
takes a minute, right?
Wait, spellcasting has to be non-verbal.
It does, yeah.
Shit, that's pretty cool.
Ah, fuck.
Hang on.
You haven't
Would
got subtle spell up your sleeve, have you?
No. Would Cone of Cold with the staff be non-verbal?
I will allow that, yeah.
Okay.
I think you're channeling it through the thing. You're still casting it. I think that makes sense.
You could do Ice Knife.
Nice.
Yeah. But
Nice, nice.
he can counter spell still.
I'll
Okay.
expand it to say, because this is something I came up with, so, you know, my fuck-ups and stuff. I would expand it to say that you can cast spells through magic items as well, even if they require verbal components. I think that's fair.
Okay. Nice.
Nice, yes. Okay. So, do you think you should start, so when we get in the fight, start it straight away? Or should we, like, weaken him first, like a Pokemon? Or
Well, it take like a certain amount of
it
rounds.
takes a minute.
Takes a full
If-
minute in total.
It's 10 rounds.
What I
Yeah.
mean is, should we waste his big spells first to not risk losing concentration?
There's an argument for that.
But
But-
then you could just restart it straight after.
Yeah, and also the longer we have the fight, the longer we're fighting Strahd and whoever else he decides to send against us.
Everyone make wisdom checks for me. Just want to see if your characters would even think of this. Cal can do it with advantage as well, because he's fought Strahd before. Like, properly fought him before.
Oh, I just save. Seven. Okay.
Oh, not great. Okay, I think Meadhan, the 20 is enough. I think Meadhan would theorise, you'd think to yourself, Meadhan, you theorise that based on the fact that Cal destroyed him before, even though he came back, does that mean there's a point where at least you can stun him or disable him for a short time? It's a possibility.
I mean, obviously, would have given you some advantage.
Maybe he can only take... Maybe if he takes a certain amount of beating, it will disable him for a while.
How was it before, Cal? Did he just come back straight away, or...?
Cal, you remember, it did take it would take about 30 seconds as his body, you would remember, Cal, that his body, like, it almost became like mist, and it was like whatever you did, it like wouldn't finish him off, and then like it slowly, his body almost like seemed to kind of like regenerate before you, and then he sort of like resumed himself.
Beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd relay that.
Okay. So the other tactic is go all out on him straight away, as soon as he's in that little misty form. The ritual. But yeah. Could all
How
be dead
long
by then.
did the ritual take? Wasn't it?
1
Take
minute.
forever.
Takes 10 rounds.
1 minute.
That's half of it.
I just don't think we lose much by having the ritual ongoing.
No, because you can just restart it.
Well, apart from Ilkaas's big spells, though, right?
But he'll be concentrating. So he'll mostly be not doing it, but... Well, he can still
that's what I
cast
mean.
Flame of Cold through the staff.
Yeah. What's ones you can't cast if you're concentrating on the ritual?
The main one's
What
Sinalac,
ones are we missing
Snowball,
out on?
Storm, Swarm.
Okay. AoE.
Also,
Yeah.
if we're doing the ritual, it kind of forces Strahd to confront us. Whereas if we're just like, he could just walk away.
Very true.
Because we're fighting on his home territory. All the tricks and everything are going to be his. If we try and corner him, he's just going to go through some hidden door or whatever.
Or a wall. He's got
Yeah.
he's probably like a vampy, isn't he?
Yeah. Whereas if we're doing the ritual, it forces him to come at us.
But then you could just start doing the ritual and he'll come back, right? So it doesn't really... Like, oh shit, doing the ritual, better go back there. No.
So,
I think that's what Tom was saying.
yeah.
I'm talking about like last minute. So like if we don't do it straight away, and then you're like, oh yeah, he'll run away if we're not doing it. Well, no, he won't, because then we just start doing it.
Well, no, but you're saying go straight at him. If
Okay,
he's
so-
got no reason to let us unload on him, he's just going to disappear or whatever. Whereas if Ilkaas is going through the ritual, it's actively happening, then he's got a reason to confront us.
I think he wants to anyway, though, doesn't he? Or am I reading it wrong? That's what he wants. Fight us.
I think if we go in, I don't think he's just going to walk out and fight us.
Yeah, he'll run away when he's weak and then recharge and then come
Oh,
back.
when it's weak, yeah, definitely. But that's when you start the ritual, right? This is just an option. I mean, you can do it anyway, but it just means that you can't cast other spells, which I'm concerned about. Depends what's in there. If there's loads of need for AoE, we're going to need Ilkaas's spells, really.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what's in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have no idea what else there's going to be.
There are other spells that Ilkaas can cast through the staff as well. Fog Cloud costs 1 charge, Ice Storm costs 4 charges, Wall of Ice costs 4 charges.
You don't want to break it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we sort out items? Should we throw those around? Who's having what?
Yeah, Ilkaas would ask if that ring, if he's the one doing the ritual, might be handy.
The spell turning one, yeah.
Yeah.
Take it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
He would feel a bit guilty though.
Great. Hmm. Does Cal want to hold on to the sun sword now, or does he still want me to throw it at him?
I guess we've got Strahd's word now that he's not going to mess with us before we get there. I guess Cal could have the sun sword on him.
Yeah.
Does it require attunement?
I believe so.
Oh, it doesn't matter, because I'll just get rid of
I
fucking.
guess the one
imagery.
thing to remember with the sun sword is when that thing comes out, it's probably going to piss him off more than
Oh, yeah.
anything.
Very, very good thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, it was his brother's sword.
Hmm.
So don't sound it.
Also remind, like, because now you've got badass Ezmerelda with you, if George is there.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Yeah. What?
I just thought,
Ezmerelda.
if you need, if you with Ezmerelda's character sheet of George, obviously I know you're going to be playing a new class. So if anyone wants to help George out, or if George hasn't got any questions that on how to with like fighter and whatnot. I also say Ezmerelda, if you look at her character sheet, George, she's got a wand of lightning bolts, which is pretty good.
Nice.
If you that is. That is cool.
Which, if she uses all 7 charges at once, she can cast it at 9th level, which is
Well,
14d6.
I'm going to do that instantly. Every time. How does the charge work in it? Is it like once a day or rest of it?
It is. Let's see.
It falls apart if you use all of them, though.
Don't you have to roll for it?
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
roll
you
for
do.
it
You
on a
do.
1.
Yeah.
Regains
Oh, crap.
1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. Has 7
You're right,
charges.
Cas one.
Pretty
Oh,
good.
That's what Ilkaas does, and it turns into water.
He's so good.
Does Ilkaas have a potion of invulnerability? I know those were going around at one point.
He doesn't.
Doesn't.
I think there was only 1, and I think Cal used it.
There was
Did.
3, I think.
Is there 3?
Because I've got one as
I
well.
had one. I
Yeah.
used it on Nigel when he got big.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think
I've
maybe
still got one.
give it to Ilkaas, maybe.
Yeah.
I will say it won't stack with Warding Bond,
Yeah.
Okay.
because for the wording of the spell, it gives Warding Bond gives him resistance to all damage.
Okay. Probably not great. Maybe to Cal then, maybe? Cal can drink it?
Yeah.
That's interesting, because then you'd both be resistant.
Yeah.
So it would actually essentially buff both your HP pools. It's pretty cool.
Does it work? Well, the time resistance to all damage. Also, each time it takes damage, you take the same amount of damage.
So
Would
I
it
think
work?
it would just mean, I think, that because it would halve any damage that you took. So does it work both ways, or is it just?
But
It's just from
Oh
Ilkaas
no,
to
it wouldn't
me.
you're
make any
kind
difference
of
then.
you're taking all the damage, but you're resistant. So you would still take full damage if you're the other person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I worked both ways, like you both.
Oh
did.
no.
No.
No, I give Ilkaas +1 AC, +1 saving throws, and resistance to all damage.
Good.
And I take the other half. If I'm wielding the Sun Sword, then my short sword of wounding's going spare if anyone wants it.
I'll also remind you that Cal, to be able to use it effectively, does have to use his blessing
Ah, yeah.
of herbalist tree. I think it lasts hour, I believe. Off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
So I kind of want to keep using the short sword for now. So we'll have to be smart with what's it called? Attunement. You can't just throw it.
Plus, there's
So,
an
tune
assumption,
to the sense or just
like Kieran said, if he finds out you got it, then that might be bad.
yeah.
There's an assumption at the moment that maybe he doesn't know you have it, because you've hidden it pretty well, I think.
Yeah. Need to hide it. I think that's a last minute. Pull it out. There you go, Strahd. Yeah.
Pull it out. Take an hour for attunement. There you go, Strahd.
No, you said attune it, don't you? Just not get it out.
Could I attune to it, but have someone else hold it?
No, but you could just have it down your trousers.
Oh, right, yeah.
You're like,
Show
wait a
Strahd
minute.
my glowing package. Just activate it and the light blade bursts through the front of my trousers.
What's that? I thought it was like a lightsaber. You don't activate it until last second. It's just a hilt, right?
It is just a hilt.
Yeah. Easily hidden.
And you summon the light as well, it's not like it's constantly on.
Yeah.
It is like a lightsaber.
A very quick random thing I just find, and I don't think I'm ever going to use it. Van Richten, he's a pretty old dude, right?
He's pretty fucking old, yeah.
I'm just going to hand him the potion of longevity. He can do with it what he wills.
Okay, yeah, interesting. He'd be like, when on earth do you come along this?
I don't
Let me
even
think how he'd
remember doing.
react. He'd actually refuse it.
Ah. Fuck, man.
Yeah, he would refuse it.
I can respect that.
You give it to Davian.
Davian would probably take it, more likely take it. Although, not right now. He's, yeah.
So funny imagining Meadhan being like, here you go. It's red.
Yeah.
You're old.
He's like,
there you go.
he's holding, he's just going through his stuff and he sees the label and he's like looking between Van Richten and the label like,
Dad could be like, I could use a few extra years of my life.
Cat has zero interest.
Meadhan's got that will of sharpness. How many does that do again? Just the one.
Up to 5 pieces of slashing or piercing ammunition,
Oh,
or
ammunition.
one slashing or piercing weapon.
That's for an hour.
Just gives you +3. That's useful.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's true.
Put it on the tune hammer.
Yeah, it could be on the tune hammer.
Tune hammer's
Neither
bludgeoning.
slashing nor piercing.
Oh, true, yeah. Sorry, I misread that.
I mean, I
Long
could
sword.
anyway, just for the
Sharpen the
laughs.
edge.
Make it shiny. Put it on the dancing scimitar. Swing.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But you never hit with the bloody thing, do you?
How dare you?
He might if he's got another +3 to hit with it.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get.
Yeah. 2 attack and damage rolls.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay.
Actually, it's a fucking good idea. Do you want it, Tom?
Yes.
There you go. You can have it. Sure.
Thanks. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, is that all the magic items sorted?
Just having a look what everyone's got.
And so currently, Ezmerelda's got a +1 rapier and a +1 hand axe that she uses. Like,
Nice.
like she's got 2 weapon fighting style as well. So she can do a lot of damage.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
She's mostly got spells though as well.
She's an Eldritch
Right.
Knight, so she's got some spells, but not that many.
Okay.
Does she have tiny hut?
Does not, no. I don't think she can learn it either. No, because it's 3rd level spell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's only got up to 2nd level.
Oh.
Can I take the Sun Sword, Hannah, then?
Oh yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I already deleted it.
Nah, it's gone forever now.
Oh no.
Like, oh shit, we left it at the mansion.
Do-do-do-ba-do-do.
Cal goes to pull out the Sun Sword and it's just some random crap in his pocket. It's like, ah, fuck! Bling bullets.
Very well.
I think.
Sounds like you
What
sorted
else there
everything.
is?
Just looking through now.
Yeah.
It says Nigel's got a potion of invulnerability.
Isn't that the one that we use?
Possibly.
I thought you said about 3, the one we used.
There's 3.
Can I
Yeah.
say?
How used
Farrah's
one
I
though.
used one. Cow used one.
So I think
Oh.
Nigel doesn't actually have that then.
Unless he has the 3rd one.
He might do, yeah.
Yeah, he said there's 3, so that one, the one that got passed around, and the one that was used, right?
Yeah.
Farrah's got one though.
Oh,
So
well.
who's got the
Oh.
3rd one?
So I'll delete Nigel's one for him. Then
Right.
you've got the Farrah's one, which is the one left.
Yes.
Mm,
Cool. Let's do this thing. See? Thing. Yeah, the Martikos coming with us.
Definitely not.
Oh, what? Eyes in the sky. That would have been useful.
I think they're still too injured, mostly, from the fight still. They took some pretty fucking bad wounds. And,
Wasn't that long ago, was it?
no.
I died. Fucking get over yourselves. Joking.
I think Davian got major auger failure, like internal failure or something like that. So he's not
Just from
well.
old age.
Yeah. Alright, so are you ready?
But we don't have a battle plan.
Well, we don't know the
Because,
outcome.
Yeah.
So.
No, we don't. Yeah.
I
Let's go
think
do some scouting.
I think you've discussed things pretty well, personally.
Okay.
Right, so
That's what the DM says. That's what we done. The only things on the way, I want to go do the gem thing. Go put that in there. I think that's it.
you'd be able to do that on the way. Okay,
What does it do, Liz?
let's wait and see. So, as the day comes to a close within the mansion, you talk plans throughout the day, you discuss Strahd's mindset and his strategy and what his plan itself is and what his weaknesses might be. You discuss how to conduct the ritual, where it might need to be conducted, what you're going to do about this heart, the different magical items you have amongst each other.
Well, that was a question, actually. Do we know? We know. Do we have a pool of what spells we know he has? Have we got a list? I help.
You know, he's cast Fireball at you. I think he's cast
Yeah.
Otaluke's Sphere on you.
I know
Yeah.
one thing Ilkaas 100% would do throughout the day.
Oh, go on, yep.
He'd write a whole record of everything they know about Strahd and then hide it in an vault
I like that a
behind
lot.
that house as well.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
that is really cool.
Everything they talk about, all
Mhm.
the items, everything they know, he would put it in a book, and he would put it in a note and put that in a book. I don't know if he can mark it, just so it's out there.
Would he go back into the library? He hasn't been back in there yet. Or what used to be his
yeah,
used to be his library.
He would,
I will
because
say-
that's where he wants to hide it.
I will say, when you go back, the library is as you originally had it. It's magically restored with the magic of Argynvost'.
I guess he'd probably do that before he wrote everything, but he'd be like, oh, and sort of like do that thing where he's like just going up and down the ladders for no reason, picking books up and being like, oh, it's back. And then that obviously gives him more joy writing everything. He'd probably try and find a book that was most related to Barovia in the library and put it in that.
Makes sense. Yeah, you could find like the history of Barovia.
So he'd write all the notes they're talking about in the meeting, put it in a book.
Okay.
Put it in that book when he's written it all out.
Pretty fucking smart. I like that a lot.
Before we go back out as well, should we spend another night here so that we get back all of our hit die?
You're definitely going to need to because you just spent 6 hours travelling, yeah?
Yeah. Can I also make up a potion
Yes, you would be
in
able
this
to.
time as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, and also at the end of the note, he'd asked Farrah for all the names of the people who were in Iron Oath who got all the information, so he could just record everyone's contribution.
Aw,
Yeah, definitely.
that is fucking awesome. I really like that.
Very
That's super cool.
No, I want us to lose so
Yeah.
future can find it now.
It's like that ending in Mass Effect where you don't defeat the Reapers and then you see the alien finding the little box Leona made.
It's a great shout.
So scrolls, we haven't done scrolls. I've still got the Hero's Feast. When do we want to do that?
Closer to it, I think.
Yeah, how close? At the beginning? At the end?
Beginning, I think.
I've also got Long Strider and Mass Cure Wounds. Scrolls.
Cure Wounds is pretty big.
I can learn it as a spell already. So if anyone else can use it, I don't know if anyone else can use it.
Would Ilkaas be able to use it? He can do cure wounds.
Let's have a look.
He can't do it as a sorcerer, but
I think based off the fact you can do cure wounds, I'd allow it.
okay.
Yeah, 100% give it to Ilkaas.
Yeah, spell scroll, Mass Cure Wounds, to Ilkaas then. Has anyone else got any scrolls?
I got nothing. I got sling bullets. Anyone want some sling bullets?
I don't think I've got anything, but if I can ever get back on D&D Beyond, I'll let you know.
I'm looking now for Nigel and I can't see anything.
I've literally been sat here for like 2 hours just looking at my phone.
It's all good. Right, well, I think that is, from what I'm looking for the items, it seems like you've sorted most of the items out.
Okay.
So,
Really want Long Strider now? Can you cast it on other people? So if I wanted to cast it on Nigel, for example.
I'm pretty sure that's what
Spell
Long
scroll.
Strider does, yeah.
Okay.
You touch a creature, yeah.
Creature. Okay, cool. I would then.
Okay, so as the day continues, is there anything else anyone would like to do in this time?
Make as many health potions as possible.
Make one.
Okay.
Meadhan, Cal, Nigel, Ezmerelda.
Oh,
What was that, sorry?
Is there any-
awaken a tree. Does anyone want me to awaken a
Stop
tree?
it, Anna! Really? Just spend like all night looking for your D&D Beyond page. Like, we could use the ball
Wait.
bearings, guys.
Wait,
We could.
have you got a spell scroll for Awaken?
No, not a scroll.
Oh.
I could do it as a spell though.
Could you
Fifth
do it on
level spell.
Ravi?
Oh, I could, yeah. It takes 8 hours to do it though. That's the only thing. But if we're staying here overnight,
Not if you're creating a potion.
If you did it on Ravi, we could have him as a follower.
You're assuming he'd side with us.
He seems pretty happy playing with Blood.
Yeah, but maybe he'll gain that much intelligence and be like, why the fuck is this dog annoying me?
Or he might go to the Amber Temple and be like, see you guys later, yeah?
Or he might fucking murder Van Richten and be like, that's for keeping me in a box for years on
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I wouldn't awaken your pet. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, maybe not.
nah, I think it's got too high of intelligence anyway, sadly.
It's got 3.
Maybe
I
not
checked.
actually. That was it. Oh, maybe just enough then. 3 or less.
You technically could.
What is
Anyway,
Awaken exactly?
before
I'm curious now.
Awaken grants them an intelligence of 10, Steph.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they become a
So
sentient
what, you can put it on
basically.
any living creature.
Any beast or plant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Go and awaken a tree. But 8 hours.
I'm sure if you awaken a tree from Barovia, it'll be perfectly well adjusted.
Oh yeah. I think it's charmed for like 8 hours at first anyway, so.
Anyway.
But no, 30 days. 30 days. They can do whatever I want.
Oh
for
my
30
god,
days
Hannah, please stop.
Okay.
Anyway, the day comes to a
8
close.
days.
Fuck, I'm doing my head in. The day comes to a close as battle plans and the rest, as I discussed before, takes place. But the day now would be... Just quickly keep track of this so I don't fucking forget. 2.5 days, 28th, 29th, 30th. 28th, 29th. So it'd be a 31st now. Let me just gonna quickly write that down for myself. 1 second.
You could awaken Cow's little mouse.
Familiar, yes, I don't think you can actually. It's not technically a beast.
Oh yeah, true. It's a fae? Or
Fae,
celestial?
yeah.
Yeah.
So at the last day of Alturiak, the Claw of Winter, as it begins to pass, at least in Faerun, into spring, I believe, into chess, you spend the night within Argynvost'Ra. And as you do, you each lay within the foyer, within the beds set up, unless you choose to sleep elsewhere. But there's a sense of the last hurrah before the final battle. And when every sleep is marred by nightmares, sometimes you can forget what it is like to dream. Some dream of love, others dream of glory, and many simply dream of those mundane pleasures that life brings us. In the light of Argynvost'Ra, a group of lost individuals come together for a greater purpose. But for the moment, you are simply allowed to dream. Ilkaas, you dream of dragon flight. With your father at the lead, you and your siblings soar through the night sky, the air currents curling beneath your wings as you exhale ice-cold breath that freezes the moisture within the clouds, causing hail to fall upon the lands far below you. You can't help but chuckle amongst your siblings as your father turns to you with a disapproving look before his frown turns into a sly grin, and you witness him light up the night sky with his own impressive display, and you feel like you finally get to claim a family memory of your own to treasure always. Farrah, you dream of family, the people of the forest, the disparate wanderers of the Emerald Enclave, your mother, your father, each standing hand in hand with the family you forged within the Iron Oath. Danish, Pitch, Osdred, Helen, Nigel, Dronas, and many more. Each of them sits around a table filled with a bounty of food, and you are gradually joined by the woodland creatures that call the forest their home. As you share this meal, you finally feel like both aspects of your life, so far apart and separate from each other for so long, finally feel a little bit more in balance. Meadhan, you dream of music.
Hmm.
You travel upon cart, horse, and by foot, and wherever you go, you sing, you play, and people love your music. Wherever you go, you attract followers and bring joy to those around you. And this particular dream brings you to a warmly lit tavern, where yourself, Nanan, Lace, Olnalor, and Esau play a soft, melancholy tune to say farewell at the end of a grand performance. Many an audience member's eye is filled with but a hint of a tear, but the moment cannot hide the toothy grins that are painted across their faces. You were sometimes asked by the passing by fans that you came through that when you wandered so much if you wandered so much because you were looking for a place to call home. But in this moment it was clear to you that moments like these are where you knew exactly this is where you were meant to be. Cal, you dream of friendship. Friendships forged with good deeds, despite the machinations of dark gods that formed your wicked beginnings. By a warm campfire, on a cold night as the sharp winds from the Sea of Swords chill your bones, you are surrounded by friends. The knightly squire Lariel, stitching a wound upon your shoulder, always vigilant to prevent suffering in the name of Ilmater. The large yet soft figure of Martine, who curls up at your feet, stroking her tiny companion mouse, her quiet and caring demeanour, always a source of comfort. And finally, the grizzled Beauregard, who shares a nod of respect with you as he raises his glass, slams it back and then burps it into the fire, his beard catching alight as he does. You all share a hearty laugh at his misfortune, and each of you secretly hope that this moment will never come to an end. Ezmerelda, you dream of glory. Your headstrong march into Castle Ravenloft is not met with destruction this time, for at your back stands allies, and despite all your fallings out, you stand side by side with your mentor once more. Swords drawn and back to back, the greatest monster hunters to ever exist, once again doing battle together in the fight against evil. It does not matter which card you pull from the Taroka deck this time, for you will make your own destiny. And finally, Nigel, you dream of a lost memory. You sit upon a crimson armchair next to the roaring fireplace of a small and humble cottage. Your wife hums a beautiful tune as she works away over a hot stove, occasionally glancing at you and your young daughter, who you hold within your arms. The flutter of her eyelids cannot hide a gaze that is filled with love, joy, and peace in this moment. And as you rock your tiny girl within your arms, you recount a story your mother used to tell you, deep within the mountains of the Goliath tribe. You tell your little girl that your tribe is special, that she is special, just how your mother told you that you were special when you were her age. You tell her the tale of how every 100 years, a child is born within your tribe, blessed with the magic of the weave. A child of Mystra, destined to do great things. And as you recount the story, you find the memory fades and you look up, and you are standing within that empty field once more. Your mind damaged, your memories lost, not sure which is true and which is real. Your body remains scarred, and by all rights you should be dead. And yet, you live. And now you know your child lives. And whatever connection to the weave you possess, it has granted you a second chance to find her. And as each of your dreams comes to an end, you feel lucid. The happiest times are only marred by those who strike the greatest shadows. And now, you each feel that shadow hanging over you, and you know that this moment is not real. Not any longer. And so, your dream comes to an end, and the rest of your sleep is filled with nothing but darkness, as if you are preparing yourself for what is to come. Nigel, if Anja's hopefully there. Rip.
Oh.
That's disappointing, but oh well. Well, I'll tell the rest of you, so Anja can find out later from Tom, that since Nigel's dream, when he rolls on his Wild Magic Rage table, he now rolls a D10 instead of a D8.
Oh.
And if he rolls a 9 or a 10, he can roll on the Wild Magic Surge table.
Oh yeah.
What
It
now?
can be really bad or really good.
But it's his choice if he chooses to do it. Otherwise,
Amazing.
yeah.
Nice. Don't know what that table is, but it sounds scary.
I'm looking.
It's the one
That
Tom
table
uses.
is my best friend. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be real bad or real good.
Oh,
So
is it
it's-
the Shifts with the Winds one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
the potted plant table.
But yeah, I like to think of it as a
Interesting.
potential get out free jail free card.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
So in the morning, you gather yourselves and you begin trekking east. And let me quickly calculate how long it's going to take you to get to Castle Ravenloft.
Or nearabouts.
So it would take you 1 day to get to here, just outside Valaki. Can someone please roll me 2 D12 plus D8s for me?
I vote Meadhan.
2. What? How many?
So,
2 eights.
So a D12 and a D8, and then another D12 and a D8. You can roll them together if you need to.
Okay.
It's up to you, don't have to. Okay, so that's 10. Could you re-roll that? It's a number that's already come up. So it's a 10 again. Okay, re-roll. Sorry.
I got this, guys. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. 18. Okay, and another one. And a 7. Okay, re-roll that again.
I don't know what I'm doing. That might be bad.
Reroll again because you got. How are you getting so many that come up with the same one? Again, you got a 10.
10.
Fuck's sake! Come on, Stefan. Give me another result. 6. Okay. So, as you make your way throughout the day, on the way, you pass by a number of Barovian commoners who seem to be making their way westward, and they pass over the bridge as you cross from just near Vallaki, and they seem almost in a bit of a panic as they are running away, and they kind of, as they do, they cross the bridge and spot you and just sort of look in your direction. They don't say anything, but they kind of like try and bustle their way past unless you try and stop them.
Oh, I'm curious. I don't feel like stopping them.
Okay. They would push on past you then.
I'm so
And then
curious though.
from there, you make rest outside of Vallaki. I assume you're not going in anyway.
No, thank
So
you.
nothing bad's going on in there.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
curious. Farrah goes in because Hannah's curious.
Nope.
Are we stopping at 10:30 today?
Yes, I just want to quickly get to a certain point beforehand, if that's all right. So if we can go if everyone's all right to go just like maybe like 10 more minutes? Is that
Mhm.
okay?
It's fine by me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me, though.
That's right.
Hours. 5 hours. 6 hours. So it's basically going to take you 2 more days to get to Ravenloft. So let me put that. So, you'd arrive on that date. So, along the way, as you come eastward up through the woods, along the old Svalich Road, you pass by the old watchtower that you once passed by when you descended into the valley with Osdred and Pitch, Helen and Neville, with Irina and
Lifetime ago.
Ismark. It was a lifetime ago. At least it feels like it. And eventually you pass back up and you arrive at the megaliths. I assume Farrah wants to place the gem within the ground like she did before. And this time you see as the ground lights up in a familiar way, and almost like veins lighting up in the ground with a green light, they sort of spiral outwards from the center and reach out to the trees beyond, and the trees themselves, dark and ominous, now seem filled with more life. And I will tell you, and as you do, lightning strikes in the sky, and the weather seems to almost like the wind seems to blow in different directions, and rain sort of falls for 30 seconds and stops. It's quite a strange experience. And I will tell you, meta-wise, what that does. So, you have now eliminated Strahd's Boon of the Forest fame, which means Strahd is, with that, was immune to any divination magic and the non-detection spell. So,
pretty good then.
you've got rid of the Boon of the Mountain fame, which allowed him to cast Shield 5 times a day, and you got rid of the Swamp fame, which stopped any kind of detection magic. And you will get a feeling within you.
I can scry on him.
Good. Okay. And then, over the course of the next few days, you pass by the windmill with the hags.
Oh yeah.
You pass through a small cropping of forest where you first met, for only a few of you now, for Nigel and Farrah, where you first met Strahd von Zarovich as he greeted you from the Black Carriage.
Not a great memory for Farrah.
After passing through the
Chased
gates.
by wolves.
And then, in the distance,
Ostred was.
Ravenloft begins to loom. And you begin to ascend up towards its cliff. And you find yourselves at this.
Oh shit, there we go. Nailed it.
So, after winding through the forest and craggy mountain peaks, the road takes a sudden turn to the east, and the startling, awesome presence of Castle Ravenloft towers before you. You see that before you are twin turrets of stone broken from years of exposure. Beyond these guard towers is the precipice of a 50-foot wide fog-filled chasm that disappears into unknown depths. A lower drawbridge of old, shored-up wooden beams stretches across the chasm between you and the archway to the courtyard. The chains of the drawbridge creak in the wind, their rust-eaten iron straining under the weight. From atop the high walls, stone gargoyles stare at you out of their hollow eye sockets and grin hideously. A rotten wooden portcullis, green with growth, hangs above the entry tunnel. Beyond this location, the main doors of Ravenloft stand open, and a rich, warm light spills from within, flooding the courtyard. Torches flutter sadly in sconces on both sides of the open doors, as if ready to greet you as you prepare yourselves to enter Castle Ravenloft. And with that, we will end today's session.
Cool.